Well, there is no place like home, and really no true words have been spoken for the GCU Loubs, who endured quite the road trip to the Midwest, but now back home with the Havocs in the house and that hectic traveling aside. They picked up a couple W's and hope to continue that trend tonight, celebrating the Roaring 20s with Seattle U in town. Kate Longworth welcoming you in to our Loubs pregame show, coming at you live right here on Fox 10 Extra. And as I said, the travel was not easy for this team heading to the Midwest, but the good news is, in the words of Will Ferrell, they're going streaking. That's right. After wins over Chicago State and Kansas City, they're looking now for their third straight win. And the best part is about picking up those wins over the weekend. Well, look at these WAC standings. Things are looking good for the Loubs right now in conference action. New Mexico State still at the top of things with that perfect 5-0 record. But as you see, Grand Canyon University right in the middle, 2-2 conference action, 7-11 overall record. Cal Baptist, Cal State, Bakersfield, they of course fell to them, the Loubs. They are riding the standings here, but the exciting thing is Seattle University in town tonight. They're right above the Loubs. Utah Valley right below. So the Loubs really can make some noise here in the conference this weekend. And so now we bring in the rest of our broadcast team to tell us what's on dock, and it doesn't look like it normally does down there, but that is because our partner in crime, Scott Williams, a little under the weather tonight. We send him the best, but the good news is we have a deep bench when it comes to our broadcast team, so we brought in no other than the Loubs insider, Paul Coro, standing by right now with our very own Barry Boutel.
Thank you, Kate. Yeah, we welcome in Paul. Thanks so much coming in from the bullpen.
You lose a little height, but you're going to step it up on the boards tonight without Scotty?
I don't have to stand on anything, thank goodness, with the 6'11" Scott Williams. We wish you all the best in your recovery. Well, the Loubs definitely recovered after starting 0-2 to go on a road trip to Chicago and to KC in 2 big wins.
Yeah, it was a great trip for the Loubs. It was really a confidence builder for a team that's been up and down, and everybody on the team's kind of been trying to find the roles. Now they have some set roles, a starting lineup that's working, and the biggest difference is Mikey Dixon kicking in. He's been a huge third scoring threat for them.
Yeah, Mikey Dixon, 17 points at Chicago, 21 at KC, and he had ice water in his veins with those free throws near the end.
Yeah, he was as icy as the weather outside. He just sank 6 in a row to cinch that game. Chicago State, he set the tone. He had 3 3-pointers at the beginning of the game, and he's a guy that's gone from shooting 24% in his first 3 games to shooting 58% in his last 3 games. He really got going in that CBU game and almost rallied him all the way back for that one here.
It's nice to add another in the scoring column for the Loubs alongside Alessandro Lever and Carlos Johnson, but it was a big couple of games for Alessandro Lever, the WAC Player of the Week.
Yeah, Lever's just stepped up his game so much over the first 2 years. He's so efficient now with his offense. His footwork's always been great, but now he's got the whole repertoire. He can step out to the 3-point line. He's shooting 54% from the field, one of the top guys in the country. That's after he was shooting 45 for the first 2 years. So that really shows the progression in his game. And he's still got ways to go defensively, rebounding and everything, but you can see him making progress in all those areas.
Yeah, he averaged 19.5 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game this past weekend, as this was an extended trip. But another couple of guys that are stepping up, Carlos Johnson as well, put up some big numbers from the free throw line as well. He was rock solid. Yeah,
Carlos Johnson is the guy that's always playing downhill. That's how the Loubs like to see him play. Dan Murley talks about that all the time. Early in the season, we saw a guy that settled for threes. He was kind of having that carryover effect from last season where he ended up so hot. Now he drives, and he's so effective because he's muscular. He plays through contact. He draws fouls. He can finish, but he's also got different ranges where he can score. And he's one of, they can't afford to have him not on the floor because he's one of their best rebounders. When he guards the best guy on the other team often. He just does so many things.
Another guy they can't afford not to have on the floor in his freshman season, Javon Blackshear had 6 assists in the last 2 games, but more importantly, in that KC game, he had 10 defensive rebounds.
Yeah, Dan Marley joked that he didn't see him get a rebound in 4 years of high school, but now he's one of the best rebounders on the team. It just shows his knack for the game, how he kind of belies his age. He reads the ball, and he often knows where to go, even if it's not like leaping 8 feet in the air. He knows where the ball comes off, and you're right, they can't keep him off the floor. He's their general. He plays a tremendous on-ball defense. He sets the table. He can drive. and he's not been in foul trouble. He's just been really wise for a freshman out there.
Smart guy on the floor, no doubt. Another smart guy for Seattle. They come in 10-10 overall, 3-2, just a game ahead of the Loubs. Their leader in the scoring column and on the floor is Terrell Brown, the redshirt junior.
Yeah, this guy's going to get up shots. I promise you that. The last time, 2 times he played the Loubs, he took 22 shots in each of the games. And he does a lot of things for him. He can rebound, he can pass, but he will not turn down shots. I've watched him a couple times this year. He triple overtime against Kansas City. They challenged New Mexico State to the final 2 minutes. They had him within 2. But he's going to be their go-to guy. They've got other guys, Morgan Means, Miles Carter, Delonte, but he's the one that's he's leading the WAC in scoring, and he will take the shots.
Yeah, 25 points in a losing effort against New Mexico State. He is the WAC's leading scorer. Well, that'll set the scene from down here courtside. We'll send it back up to you, Kate.
All right, thank you. And the good news is that Paul and the team made it back. They had some crazy travels because newsflash, across the United States, it's not 70 degrees everywhere in January. Paul, I know you guys were up against some weather when you were in both Kansas City and Chicago. A lot of flights canceled. So kind of walk me through what the team was up against from that Thursday night game in Chicago to Sunday, not Saturday as previously scheduled in Kansas City.
Yeah, they spent about 19 hours in Kansas City. By the time they got there and played a game, it was all in the same day as a whirlwind. It really kind of drew the team together because they had to go through all those things together. They even got split up a little bit to where 2 of the players had to travel day of game with Dan Marley because not everybody could. There wasn't enough seats to get them on the plane to St. Louis and the bus in. But it seemed like the guys kind of used that as a rallying point to come together for that Kansas City game, and their effort level was super high. And maybe in Kansas City, everybody was a little distracted by the Chiefs game that day.
Yeah, there was another game, I think, on Sunday in Kansas City, Kate.
There was? I didn't hear about that. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining, and they'll have the call in just a bit. Meanwhile, we're going to continue the Loubs pregame show right here on Fox 10 Extra. When we come back, we will check in and see how the Havocs are handling the home court advantage. Plus, a guy who is now a Hall of Famer. We're talking Shellis Hyman, men's soccer coach, when we come back right after this.
Across the green desert to where the mountains touch the sky. This is Sanderson Ford country, where Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford country, built on serving you. Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford.
Whether you crave the night or savor the day, here we give you all a place to play. Talking.
Well, the calendar reads 2020, but here inside GCU Arena, the Havocs are celebrating a decade they probably had to Google, the Roaring 20s. We welcome you back. Some people got a little confused when Googling that, what to wear. We welcome you back here to the Loubs pregame show, coming at you live on Fox 10 Extra. And we take a little bit of a time out from basketball right now to revisit the successful men's soccer season. They were the first GCU team to advance to NCAA tournament play since the university has made the transition to Division I, and that's all under the leadership of Shellis Hyman, who has been coaching either in the pros or at the collegiate level for over 4 decades. 5 years here with GCU. He led them to a WAC championship this year. Just when you think 2019-20 can't get any sweeter, well, over the weekend, the head coach was inducted into the Hall of Fame for soccer.
Who would ever thought that Shellis Hyman would be a successful soccer coach? Who would ever thought that Shellis Hyman would be inducted into the United Soccer Coaches Hall of Fame? I never did. Not something I ever thought about. And this journey for me has just been a journey of passion. And I've been so very blessed and fortunate to find a success and to meet so many good people in my lifetime. Yeah, I was born in Macau, China. And My family had lived there for centuries, and it's a Portuguese colony. When we came to the United States, I was in Dayton, Ohio, and I went to high school in Vandalia, Butler. My earlier days in Vandalia, when I was in high school, English wasn't my first language, and my coaches there really influenced me, being a hard worker, giving my best, and just some of the qualities that I use today as a coach. When I was growing up, I lost my father at a young age, so those coaches were great influences on me. The first ones were my high school coaches, and I wanted to be just like them. I think that's probably a normal thing for people to think. You see the job they were doing, you saw the effect they were having on young people, and I hope to have done that as well. Yeah, I played professionally in Cincinnati Comets, and then I went to Brazil to be more involved in the game of soccer. I did coaching courses. I did what they call an estágio. An estágio was, they assigned me to a professional team, São Paulo Futebol Clube, and I was with them for a year and a half. Came back for vacation. It was really interesting. When I came back on vacation, my college coach, Fritz Teller, said to me, if you'll just stick around, I'm going to retire in a year, and you could potentially be the next coach. And we decided to do that. It was probably one of the best decisions I ever made, because I started coaching when I was 27 years of age at my alma mater. And those were great days for me, and great start for me in my coaching career. When I think about my past, I have to go back to my childhood, being raised in Macau, China, and the word that was used was gai lo. Gai lo is a Chinese word meaning you're a foreigner. So I never really fit in Macau. Even though it was a Portuguese colony, it was a lot of Chinese. And coming to the United States, not having the language and not really having any direction at all, I felt very fortunate to be associated with some good people that gave me some direction. It's humbling. It's humbling because no one goes into an association or a coaching background with an idea that I'm going to be successful. You hope you will be. You can only put in the work. And then the end results are the end results. But it's not just the wins and losses. It's what you really feel like you're doing for the game. And I hope I've been a good role model, and I hope I helped the game of soccer.
Congratulations to Coach Hyndman, not only a Hall of Fame coach, but also really a Hall of Fame personality, and just a really impressive stat. In 34 postseason eligible seasons where he has been coaching, he has guided his team to 32 NCAA tournament appearances. All right, when we come back, we're going to check in with a great resource that's available right here in the Valley for families in need. That's all coming up right after this quick break.
Waking up with peace of mind. Just one of the little perks you get with the SRP Power app. Use it to make conscious decisions on the energy you use every day. No guessing. Everything you need to know. Download the SRP Power app now. SRP, delivering water and power.
Curiosity fuels you. So when you're ready for a fulfilling new career, let your curiosity fuel that change. Grand Canyon University's online degree programs in technology make it convenient for you to achieve your dream. GCU teaches you how to plan for innovation. By applying that knowledge to today's most challenging problems, you're helping to build a better tomorrow. Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
We want to welcome you back to explore the wonders of
Welcome back inside GCU Arena, where the Loubs are trying to get their third straight victory tonight with the Red Hawks of Seattle University in town. This is the Loubs pregame show coming at you live on Fox 10 Extra. Kate Longworth, and I am joined now by Susan Annable, who is VP of Cox Public Affairs. Thank you so much for being out here, especially because you have such an important program to share with the audience tonight. I know you guys do something very special to help families in need so that resources don't have to go unnoticed for them. They need those resources, and you found a way to provide them for them. Can you expand on that?
Exactly. We know that our kids need to have access to the internet to be able to be successful in school and in life. So Cox has created a program. We actually support it through a variety of different channels, but it's called Connect to Compete. and allows us to provide a low-cost internet service to low-income families and make sure that those kids have an internet connection at home so they can do their homework, they can do their research, and they can be successful in school.
It's so important because nowadays that's where everything is happening. So how do families qualify for this program?
Right. And you're right, 7 out of 10 teachers assign homework to be done online, so we know it's critically important. And so families who are eligible are households that have children that are school age, that are either free or reduced lunch eligible, or receiving benefits that are SNAP, TANF, or they live in a housing project. So those are our families who are eligible, and they would qualify for a $9.95 per month internet service with no deposit, no contract. We give them a free Wi-Fi modem, and then they also have access to our Wi-Fi network as well.
Why was it so important for you guys to come up with a program like this?
So we're very fortunate. Cox Communications is very committed to making sure that our communities are successful. And it's why we've had this wonderful partnership with GCU to make sure that we keep these kids connected. We provide a product that we know is essential for everybody to be successful, and we want to make sure that no child gets left behind.
Since you guys have started this program with the Connect to Compete, have you noticed a difference in these students? Have you seen that success pay off?
Absolutely. We have actually surveyed some of the families that have been part of our program, and 91% of them said that they felt like their kids' grades have actually improved since they've been in part of the program. And also 89% of those families told us they have better communication with their teachers, and those are critically important to be successful as well.
And this program is so important for the youth, but are there other programs you guys are offering similar to this for families and young people out there?
Thank you for asking. We also have a program that's available to everyone, not just our Connect to Compete families, called Cox Digital Academy. And so if you go online, you can find resources to help stay safe online. We know digital literacy is another gap, and if we can help families learn how to be safe online and navigate the online environment, they're apt to be more successful.
Yeah, that is so key. And so what do you just recommend, I think, kind of expanding on that for families that have kids that are on the internet or they have phones in their hands? What do they need to be aware of? And these resources you're talking about, where can they further go to get more information, see if they qualify for programs? And that
Absolutely. So if people visit our website, cox.com/low-cost internet, they can find out more about the Connect to Compete program as well as the Cox Digital Academy, which again is a resource available for everyone. Help keep our kids safe online and learn how to navigate being online and having access to the world.
Right, and it's so important nowadays. We have these resources. You just want to be using them the right way.
Exactly.
Why is it important that Cox has kind of just jumped on board to make sure this is happening here in the Valley?
Well, we feel a responsibility. We provide a network and the connection to the world, and we want to make sure that kids have the opportunity, but they're doing it safely, and they're making the best of their opportunities. So we want to make sure every family has that opportunity.
Well, thank you so much, Susan. Some great information, and thanks for all that Cox is doing for the community and joining us here. And now, speaking of some of those young people out there, I'm pretty sure they Googled tonight's theme. It's called the Roaring 20s, and they are carrying it to full effect. Why? Because they are the Havocs, the best student cheering section in all of college basketball. And the Loubs will try and give them a lot to cheer for. When we come back, we check in with head coach Dan Marley. Berries goes one-on-one to get Dan's plan for tonight against Seattle U. We'll be right back with more Loubs Pregame Show.
State Credit Union, a local credit union serving the Valley for over 65 years, can assist you in buying your first home, refinancing your current home, or if you're dreaming of a retirement home. Canyon State Credit Union can provide you with a fast and affordable solution that meets your needs. Let Canyon State Credit Union run the numbers on your dream. Visit canyonstatecu.org or call 623-580-6015 for more information. Canyon State Credit Union, committed to you. We do business in accordance with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, MLS number 410376.
Welcome back to the Loubs pregame show. The Loubs back home trying to get a third straight victory after 2 games on the road. Home tonight against Seattle U, and then Saturday against Utah Valley. You can see tip-off here at 6 p.m., but we get the party started 5:30 with Loubs pregame show coming at you on Fox 10 Extra. Then the Loubs hit the road again. UTRGV to end things in January on the 30th, and then opening February at New Mexico State. They, of course, had that one circled on the calendar for a while now. And then we will be coming back at you on February 13th against Kansas City. And the Loubs have a chance right now to make some noise in the standings. So we head downstairs where Barry Boutel caught up with Coach Dan Marley.
Thanks, Kate. I'm alongside the head coach, Dan Marley, as the Loubs come into town or return back to GCU Arena, riding a 2-game winning streak. That was an eventful trip to Chicago State and KC. 2 big wins, though. Travel was a little, well, it's winter.
It was difficult, yeah. But we had to go there and find a way to get 2 wins. And I thought at Chicago State we had a really good first half, struggle in the second half, but our goal was to win the game, and we did that. And then that's when the interesting stuff happened. Here you see at the Chicago State, as I said, we went in there and really took care of business. Mikey came out, was hot. And then after Chicago State, we were able to somehow finally get to Kansas City. Got snowed in and kind of had to break up the travel. The team went Saturday night. Flew into St. Louis, had a 4.5-hour bus ride, probably got in around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and then myself and a couple of the other trainers and the training staff flew out Sunday morning, got in there about 9, but it was important that we got in there, and I thought our guys really bounced back and played well after hard travel, and especially in the first half, we came out and took control. Yeah, because they were looking for a win desperately, and you seemed to really counter that initial blow. Yeah, they're a hard playing team. When they had lost 3 in a row, and they were disappointed in that. So we knew they were going to come out and play extremely hard. They're a physical team. They're a very good defensive team. So I thought our focus was really good. I was worried about the first 4 minutes and their energy, and we handled that. And then when it went into halftime with the lead, kind of survived the scare. Couldn't score down the stretch a little bit. 10-0 run for UMKC. And then we were able just to gut it out. Mikey had a great performance, made 6 free throws in a row down the stretch, and came out with a big win. Yeah, 17 for Mikey in that first game, 21 in the second. He was shooting just over 24% in the first 3 games, 58% now in the last 3 as he arrived. Yeah, I think he has. Those first couple games, he's kind of feeling his way and was getting into the paint and kind of forcing some shots, was turning down some wide open threes, and I think he's really starting to figure out when to drive, and then when he's open, he's taking the shots, and we're doing a better job as a staff and as his teammates is giving him the ball when he's ready to shoot it. And sometimes it takes a while, and he's done a good job, and he's going to have to continue to play well for us to be successful. How about Alessandro Lever, WAC Player of the Week, second time this season for him? Yeah, Chicago State is really good. I thought he really struggled at UMKC. They had a big freshman there that really was physical against him, and he struggled a lot, but we played through him. And he did some good things, but he continues to be a stronghold for us. It's no secret we got to find a way to keep getting him the basketball, and he's doing a better job of recognizing double teams and finding people out of those. Carlos Johnson had 15 at Chicago, 18 at KC. I believe from the free throw line he was like 10 of 11. You guys were solid. You mentioned Mikey Dixon, and then beyond the arc, the last 2 games you're hitting at a 50% clip. That's the first time in the D1 era. Yeah, and it was good. I thought Carlos was great, especially at UMKC. He came out really hot, and then he didn't really force the issue, which was good for him. Took really good shots, did a good job there, found people. And we've been a good free throw shooting team all year long, so it's good to see us down the stretch be able to make free throws. So I thought we did a good job there. And as far as the three-point shooting, I think we only took 11 at UMKC, and we made 6 of them. So we did a really good job of not settling for threes and playing downhill and getting to the free throw line. Javon Blackshear, he wasn't piling up double-digit numbers as far as scoring is concerned, but he certainly was in the rebounding with 10 at KC. Well, it's interesting. Javon Blackshear, who's all of 5'9", had 10 rebounds. I think he's first in the WAC in defensive rebounds, and I think he's tied for 3rd in offensive rebounding. So, or not offensive rebounding, total rebounding. Oh, total. Yeah, so that just goes to show you that he's really concentrating on as a point guard, getting in there and kind of rooting out rebounds as our bigs and others are trying to box out. So he's doing a fantastic job of getting back and getting rebounds for us. Do you feel? I mean, everybody was kind of relying on Lever and Johnson, but now you've got Mikey in the mix.
kind of a three-headed monster from a scoring perspective.
Yeah, I mean, those are the guys that are going to have to score for us. Those are our most talented offensive players. But Javon's going to have to continue to work on his shooting, make open shots, continue to distribute the ball. Isaiah coming off the bench, Doobie coming off the bench. They have to take good shots. They're going to have to score. We're going to need production from them coming off the bench. So we just can't rely on those three guys. But it's those three people that are going to be getting the most of the shots.
And we saw Rafe Gertis getting some minutes as well.
Rafe deserves it. Rafe has had some great weeks of practice. Is working really hard, and that just gives us a guy that I bring off the bench, especially in the first half, and get solid minutes out of him, and he's done a good job.
Seattle comes in. They are above you at 3-2 overall. They lost to New Mexico State. Terrell Brown, the WAC's leading scorer, coming in for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, he's going to be a handful. They're really good offensively, the best offensive team in the league. So they're kind of an analytics team, which means they shoot a lot of threes. They don't shoot a great percentage. They're shooting a better percentage here in the WAC, but they either want to shoot threes or they want to go downhill, get to the free throw line, and shoot layups. So they're going to spread you out, especially Terrell Brown. He's going to use his size, going to try to get in the paint. So we're going to have to be really good this evening of keeping them in front, not letting them break us down, not fouling them. They shoot free throws better than we do. They're a really good free throw shooting team. So we're going to have to make them take hard contested twos and realize that they're going to make some threes because they take a lot of them.
All right, good luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
Head coach Dan Marley will send it back upstairs to you, Kate.
All right, thank you very much, guys. And right now, taking a look at the light show here inside GCU Arena, all courtesy of the Loubs Athletics app. And GCU just getting ready for tip-off. We're moments away as they take the court, trying to keep this win streak going with Seattle U in town tonight. When we come back, we'll check in on other WAC play, plus some exciting accolades for another team here on the GCU campus. That's all when we come right back.
Across the green desert to where the mountains touch the sky. This is Sanderson Ford Country, where Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford Country, built on serving you. Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford.
When my hot water heater failed, she was pregnant, in-laws were coming, a little bit of water, it rocked our world.
I had no idea the amount of damage that water could do.
We called USAA, and they greeted me as they always do. Sergeant Baker, how are you? They were on it. It was unbelievable. Having insurance is something everyone needs, but having USAA, that's a privilege. We're the Bakers, and we're USAA members for life.
USAA.
Back to the Loubs pregame show, moments away for tip-off between the Loubs and Red Hawks, and some shots of the GCU cheerleaders and the championship dance team, who are now back-to-back UDA national champs, reigning champions. They went out there to win it all once again. The drumline was also a great addition to their performance of the game day performances, which made for a great husband and wife team. As you know, Jackie Ganum Cook is the head coach of the dance team, and Paul Cook, director of the band. Congratulations to those teams. All right, and now we take a trip around the WAC. Don't worry, you don't have to leave your couch. Cal Baptist beats Chicago State 85-53. Our conference leaders so far, Terrell Brown from Seattle University. We'll see a lot of him tonight, but hopefully the Loubs can be successful in shutting him down. He is averaging just over 19 points per game. And the Aggies, well, they set a conference record. New Mexico State has now won 20 straight games within conference action. And the Loubs will have a chance to face them in February. But first, they have to get through the Red Hawks tonight on Seattle University. Game is next. We'll be right back with more action here on Fox 10 Extra.
This Waste Management Phoenix Open will finally be his.
one more member on our roster. Streets of New York is proud to announce Grand Canyon University to our winning team. We are now the official pizza of GCU. Go Loubs.
Live from the heart and soul of Phoenix, welcome to the campus of Grand Canyon University and inside GCU Arena, where tonight the Loubs look to extend their winning streak to 3 games as they play host to the Seattle Redhawks. Good evening and welcome to GCU basketball. Alongside Paul Coro, in for Scott Williams tonight, who is under the weather. I'm Barry Butel. Kate Longworth will be along in just a moment. Well, the Loubs riding high after a fortuitous trip to Chicago and KC, Paul. 2 big wins.
Yeah, big confidence builder for the Loubs. Here they are right back in the WAC race, just like, you know, the ups and downs of the year. They wanted to define themselves differently in the conference. Now it's a chance to do it. Here's another standings climber, able to move into 4th if they win tonight against Seattle.
Seattle, and then Saturday against Utah Valley, but a big story on that road trip, their emergence of Mikey Dixon.
Yeah, Mikey Dixon, they knew he was the best shooter in the gym for the past year, but it took him a few games to get his game legs back again. He shot poorly in 3 games, and now he's caught fire. We saw him almost pull him out of a loss here against CBU. On the road, he had 3 threes at Chicago State and then scored 12 points in the last 5.5 minutes at Kansas City.
We'll be keeping an eye on the Seattle Redhawks leading scorer, Terrell Brown.
Yeah, he can do it all. He'll set up teammates, but he'll mostly take his shots. He'll shoot from anywhere on the floor. He really wants to get downhill and drive, and they space the floor so well, but he can take threes and he can score at the rim.
He is the WAC's leading scorer, Terrell Brown. The Seattle Redhawks coming in 3-2, a game ahead of the Loubs here tonight. Let's get it started. Let's send it down to the public address announcer, Paul Denuser, with our prayer and our national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the beautiful GCU Arena for tonight's Western Athletic Conference men's basketball matchup between the Redhawks of Seattle University and your Grand Canyon University Antelopes. Tonight's game is sponsored by Cox Business. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you all please rise if you are able. And gentlemen, please remove your caps as we begin this evening's competition with the word of prayer. Tonight's prayer is led by Matt Wagner, a senior majoring in film and marketing.
All right, let's pray. God, we love you. We thank you for today. Thank you for this game. We just pray for both teams, God, that you would keep them safe. I pray that they would play hard, play fair, God, and just give it their all. We pray for the refs that you would give them wisdom just to see the court. And we just pray that this would be a great game and all for your glory. We love you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Matt. Fans, please remain standing as we now honor America with a presentation of the national anthem. Tonight, the Star Spangled Banner will be performed by the Marcos de Niza High School Chamber Choir under the direction of Courtney Evans.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Marcos de Niza High School Chamber Choir.
The Seattle University Redhawks overall 10-10, 3-2 in the WAC, 1-6 away from Seattle. Their head coach Jim Hayford in his third season. Let's see his starting five, brought to you by Talking Stick Resort. Play in style. Aaron Nettles, Riley Grigsby, Morgan Means, Terrell Brown, the WAC's leading scorer, and Miles Carter.
Morgan Means is a guy who can also step in. Terrell Brown's the leading scorer, but Means is a guy who struggled here last year with only 2 points, but in the next 2 meetings had 20 plus in both games.
A double threat for Seattle. Their associate head coaches are Alex Pribble and Chris Victor. The assistant coach is Sam Kirby. 48-39 at Seattle. His head coach Jim Hayford, 408 and 214 in his 20th season as a head coach. Sioux Falls, Whitworth, and Eastern Washington. Now it's time to introduce you to Grand Canyon University. Head coach Dan Marley in his 7th season at the helm. The team overall 7-11, now 2-2 in the Western Athletic Conference. Here are Dan Marley's starting five, brought to you by Talking Stick Resort. Mikey Dixon, Javon Blackshear Jr., Carlos Johnson, Bryce Oakpo, and Alessandro Laver.
Well, we talked a lot about what Mikey Dixon's done lately. We know what Carlos Johnson's done all season, but how about freshman Javon Blackshear Jr., one of only 3 freshmen in the whole nation to be averaging 10 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds a game.
Incredible freshman campaign for Javon Blackshear, the associate head coach Marvin Menzies. Assistant coaches Chris Crevalone and Isaac Chu. Director of basketball operations Dylan Hidalgo. Special assistant to the head coach is Johnny Hill. Video coordinator Matt Lopez. Director of sports medicine Jordy Hackett. And the director of sports performance is Gabe Borland. Another great crowd here at GCU Arena. Back here Saturday night against Utah Valley. Time now for the Sanderson Ford keys to the game. The best play in a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford.
Well, number one, build a moat. The Loubs defense needs to surround the paint like it's their castle, not let any drivers get in there often. Seattle spaces the floor well and shoots a bunch of threes, but the Loubs have to be careful with closeouts so you don't get the pump fake drives. Number two, no right turns. Terrell Brown, we talked about being the WAC leading scorer. It's because he's aggressive, but he almost always goes right. When he goes left, he spins back right. So they have to be mindful of keeping him out, so he has to score over them. And lastly, keep it simple. Offensively, the Loubs want to limit their turnovers. They've been at 12 or fewer for 10 straight games. Both these teams are in the top 30 nationally for least turnovers. You don't want to be the team that gives up extra possessions for the difference in this game.
Great crowd. Havocs the student body out in full force. You look at the reigning WAC Player of the Week. There is another phenom, rookie Bryce Oakpo getting the start. As you look at the officials, DJ Nelson, Ron Brockenbaugh, and Casey McClellan. Loubs fans will remain on their feet until they hit their opening bucket. We're underway. Seattle in possession. Terrell Brown, eyed by Blackshear, moves right. Looking for Nettles. Nettles comes back out, near side, long distance by Morgan Means, off the mark.
A good closeout by Johnson, not getting too far up on him, but challenging it.
Blackshear dishes back out, Oakpo. Way back out, Carlos Johnson near side, cuts in the wing, drives off the glass and in. Loubs fans can take a seat, a hoop and a harm.
Yeah, that's the best kind of Carlos Johnson Loubs fans love to see. When he gets his head down and splits 2 defenders and uses that power to split 2 more and finish the hoop.
He's got the wheels. It's great to see Carlos slicing and dicing in the paint. Oh, that rings off. Brown cuts back out. Dishes back out. They'll try again from the corner. That doesn't happen. Here come the Loubs. Carlos Johnson leaves it for Blackshear. He slices in. Left hand high. Not there, but Bryce Oakpo is.
That's why he's in there. He's an energy guy. Cleans up the boards. Best thing about that Loubs possession is they pulled it out rather than forcing the transition.
Brown stops, pops. That doesn't go. 0 for 3 to start here are the Redhawks. Blackshear motioning Oakpo over to the near side. Up over the top. Labor turns to the bucket. Backing in. Back out to Blackshear. Inside, Labor, left hand, and it finds its way.
What an ideal start for the Loubs. 6-0 lead. That's the new Ali Labor. Aggressive as soon as he catches it on the post and beats the double help.
Grigsby looking to turn the corner on Oakpo. That's short. Fighting after the rebound. Foul.
Well, you see last time, Javon Blackshear drawing everybody from the Seattle defense over, and Oakpo just reads the space to get in there and follow, not assuming that he's going to make it. Look, there's Oakpo again, even when a Labor scored. He's all around the basket.
Riley Grigsby at the line. All 6 of the Loubs points have come in the paint. Seattle still looking for their first point. 80% free throw shooter is Grigsby.
Yeah, interesting that the Redhawks go big with Grigsby and Carter together, and they're trying to find a mismatch with the size up front.
First point for Seattle. Blackshear, wide by Nettles. Moves to Labor. Quickly open is Oakpo. Bounce pass into Johnson. Moving in. Over in the corner, pushing it back down. And in! And a foul! Blackshear.
Well, you can see the Redhawks are just camping in the paint to try to double Johnson. But Los reads it and has a skip pass over to Javon Blackshear Jr., who they've been trying to get him to not settle for that three-pointer so much. So he pump fakes, steps in, and that mid-range jumper he's really strong with.
The WAC tournament returns to Vegas March 11th through the 14th. All session tickets just went on sale. Check out gculopes.com/events to see ticket, hotel, and event information. But it's a watch and win night where you can win free tickets just by watching the Loubs. Starting now, if you text WIN THE WAC to 602-639-8979 before halftime, you'll be included into the hopper. A name and winner will be selected at halftime. Win the WAC, 602-639-8979. Loose ball picked up by Labor. Rebounding margin in favor of the Loubs, 5-2. Long distance off the mark. Rebound kicked up by Seattle.
That's still okay. The Loubs want Mikey Dixon to be aggressive with that shot.
Means pushes it back out to Terrell Brown. Brown finds some room, goes right hand and in off the glass.
Yeah, you can see Ali Labor being careful there. He doesn't want to pick up that first foul. He gave him a little Olay on the way to the hoop.
Oakpo takes it from Blackshear, turns to the bucket. Johnson comes out, looking for an opening, trying to thread, twisting around, lost the ball. Loubs ball. Johnson will inbound.
This start has really incorporated all of the Loubs in this scoring. Mikey Dixon, the one that's been the hottest of ladies, the only one not to score.
Oakpo. Johnson inside the arc. Good!
Carlos Johnson, when he feels it early in games, it almost ramps up all of his game. You see him being more intense on defense, getting wing steals, crashing the boards.
Brown dishes back out in the corner. Long distance miss there by Mario DeCampo.
Yeah, we talked about they just want to spread this and launch threes, and they're going to put up a lot tonight.
Oakpo, ooh, up over the top, a little too heavy. Beyond the reach of Labor. Step back, another three off the mark. DeCampo chasing after it, into the hands of Mikey Dixon.
Smart play to slow it up. Loubs are much more effective offensively when they run their sets.
0 for 4 from the arc. Step back. Dixon. Too heavy. DeCampo with the rebound. Brown moves left. Motions DeCampo. Baseline. Looking to move as Brown drives by Laver again.
That's what he's good at. He puts the ball on the floor, gets in the paint. They want to keep him out of there because even when he's not scoring, he'll kick out and create for others.
Bounce pass to Ogbo. Led by Carter. Ooh, just beyond the reach of Brown. Over the top, he finds Laver. Quick pass to Ogbo. Big right hand, doesn't go. Rebounds kicked out. Johnson with the shot. And good!
It's just a lot of activity all the way around. Ali Laver keeping that ball alive. Oko being active on the weak side. Carlos Johnson gets another mid-range shot.
His 1,000th career point for Carlos Johnson.
What a feat. About 3/4 of those have come here in the past season and a half.
Johnson again. He wants to add to the total. Foul. On Johnson. 14:51 to go. The lead is 13-5 in favor of GCU, looking to extend their winning streak to 3.
So one key component that makes the Waste Management Phoenix Open so successful is Cox Business. Over 700,000 people are going to come enjoy TPC Scottsdale, from digital TV to digital phones to security, and most importantly, that free Wi-Fi all over this property. We simply couldn't do it without a partner like Cox Business. We're grateful, we're thankful, it's a hole-in-one.
Across the great desert to where the mountains touch the sky. This is Sanderson Ford country, where Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford country, built on serving you. Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford.
GCU men's basketball is brought to you in part by Sanderson Ford. The best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford. By BSN Sports, the largest provider of team sports equipment and apparel in the country. And by SRP, delivering water and power. Barry Butel, Paul Coro in for Scott Williams tonight, and the third member of our broadcast team, Kate Longworth. Hi, Kate.
Hey guys, all right, well, Alessandro Laver, we know what he can do. He always has great expectations coming into the season, and this year he is delivering, averaging just over 15 points per game and nearly 6 boards. In this past week, he claimed WAC Player of the Week honors, averaging almost 20 points per game, 7.5 rebounds at Chicago State and Kansas City this last Thursday and Sunday. And this is the second time this year the junior center has garnered this award, and he currently ranks 4th in all of WAC shooting. And I think, too, we've just seen a lot of poise going out there, confidence. And, Paul, you've been kind of following his journey throughout his time in a Loubs uniform, and he seems really to be coming into his own this season.
Yeah, Dan Marley continues to try to instill confidence and aggression in him, and you can see how quickly he makes decisions now when he gets the ball in the post. Before he tried to read it and be a good teammate, pass it, but they're better off when he's scoring down there, and that's why he's shooting 54%. He shot 45% for his first 2 years, but he can also take it outside and shoot the 3.
Big 3 there by Delonte Jones, a 36% shooter from the arc.
Well, they weren't going to miss them all for long. They're a good 3-point shooting team, and they're 0 for 4 start. You got to keep up the closeouts on them.
Dixon, guarded by Grigsby.
Tough call. Javon has a nice penetration there to draw the double. I think he thought it was a little late. Actually, Mikey Dixon on that drive.
You don't want to pull the reins back, though, right? Love how they're driving, being aggressive. Terrell Brown went right, cut back left. Was looking for Carter near the back door, but good D there by Laver. Bounce pass into Carter. Carter trying to work on Laver. Loses the ball. Foul to reach in on Blackshear.
Yeah, Javon Blackshear is really sneaky with those reaches, and there's probably a good chance that he got all the ball in that because he's so adept at that. But just the look from across the court from officials, you see a reach in the paint, and he's not going to get the benefit of the doubt on that.
Laver's going to sit down. Okpo comes in for him. Isaiah Brown also in the game, along with Lorenzo Jenkins. Long distance three. They hit back to back. Delonte Jones doing the damage.
Yeah, he's sort of their secret weapon. We talk about their big three a lot, but Jones had double-digit games in all 3 meetings with the Loubs last year.
6-0 run for the Red Hawks. Okpo near side. Back out. Blackshear. Back to Jenkins quickly. Dixon. Isaiah Brown. 10-9 on the shot clock. Tight D. Brown's got an open window. Too heavy. Rebound. Red Hawks. Momentum. Swifting back to the Red Hawks. Driving baseline. And a foul on Brown. Was DeCampo.
That's the one area that Dan Marley does not want to see his defense give up any baseline cuts, and they want him to cut off, turn them back, seal off all the gaps. It's really important with this Red Hawks team that they keep him out of the paint.
Long distance in and out for the Red Hawks, but the rebound pulled down by Brown. Another rebound, loose ball. Here come the Loubs. At 13-5, edge by the Loubs narrowed to just 2 points. Blackshear way off the mark.
That's the shot they don't want Javon Blackshear Jr. taking so early in shot clocks. That shot's there 20 seconds later if he wants it. They want to work their offense at the table. He's not a high enough three-point shooter, although he's arguing that he got a piece of that. Looked like close. Brown might have tipped that. Blackshear sure thought so. He doesn't think he was him, right?
Inside, Carter. Carter had by travel on Carter. Good D there by Okpo.
Yeah, nice job by the freshman, giving up a lot of size and strength and experience to the bigger Miles Carter, but he held his own there and made him shuffle his feet.
GCU shooting 6 of 10 from the field, 0 for 3 beyond the arc. Back up front, Blackshear plays catch with Johnson. Bounce pass into Jenkins. Jenkins trying to move on to Campbell. Turn, step back. Good!
Wow, tough shot for the lefty to spin opposite away, but he's got that feathery touch from that range.
Loubs up by 4. Brown cuts left. Looking for Carter. Nope. Puts it in himself.
Too deep in the lane, unchecked. Terrell Brown can get it going.
Brown cuts back, stops, pops. Try to get some help from the glass. Foul underneath, looks like Delonte Jones.
Like what we're seeing here early from Lorenzo Jenkins. They could sure use some boost off the bench offensively, and he gave him that fadeaway off the post on his first offensive possession, and then crashes the offensive boards there between 2 guys and draws a foul.
Riley Grigsby takes a seat for the Red Hawks. Ooh, bad inbounds, bringing it up, Jones. And a foul on Okpo. That did not go the Loubs' way. 11:59 to go, Loubs up by 2. Jenkins drains it on the step back.
You have a foundation of strong values. You belong where your passions come to life. Grand Canyon University's online degree program in cybersecurity makes it convenient for you to join the newest front in keeping your community safe. GCU teaches you how to secure and protect a virtual environment. Join the growing field of cybersecurity.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/online.
When my hot water heater failed, she was pregnant, in-laws were coming, a little bit of water, it rocked our world.
I had no idea the amount of damage that water could do.
We called USAA, and they greeted me as they always do. Sergeant Baker, how are you? They were on it. It was unbelievable. Having insurance is something everyone needs, but having USAA, that's a privilege. We're the Bakers, and we're USAA members for life.
USAA. Get your insurance quote today.
15-13, the Loubs on top of the Redhawks here at GCU Arena. The recent road trip, Paul, that was fun, I bet, for you guys.
Tropical, a lot of sunbathing in Chicago and Kansas City.
Sunscreen.
Team had a terrible time getting from Chicago to KC. The KC airport was shut down twice on the day they were supposed to fly there, so they ended up staying an extra night in Chicago, got some practice time in there, then flew the next night to St. Louis because they still couldn't fly to Kansas City. Took a bus that got into the hotel in Kansas City at 2:30 in the morning. By 9 o'clock, they're having a team meeting. By 4 o'clock, they're playing a game. And they won. So, I don't know, maybe we need to make more difficult travel arrangements for them, challenge them a little bit.
I'm sure they'd love that.
The fun part was flying home with Chiefs fans on the plane. A plane half full of Chiefs fans who are watching the replay of the AFC Championship on NFL Network, reliving every moment.
Oh, my goodness. Forget about sleeping. You saw Frankie Muniz. He's turned into a Loubs fan. I believe that's his second game coming out here this season. Got the GCU lid. Well, the Loubs started 4 of 5 shooting, since have gone 3 of 10. And Seattle is now atop 16-15. Their first lead. Labor is over at the scorer's table, going to check back in. Okpo at top of the key. Looked inside, put it on the floor. Over to Johnson. Johnson looking to move on Brown. Big right hand. Okpo with a nice move. Back underneath. Carlos Johnson, it doesn't go. Isaiah Brown trying to get it. Loose ball. Somehow got it up to Morgan Means. Stripped away by Blackshear.
A strip and a save. What a play by Javon Blackshear Jr. Now the presence of mind to stay in bounds and pass it back in.
Wow, is that an interesting stop pop? Isaiah Brown.
That's really good to see Isaiah Brown knock a shot down early. He was a leading scorer for the Loubs early in the season. It's in there if he can get some confidence going, and then that would be a huge bench boost.
Loubs back up by 2. Long 3. A lot of arc. Loose ball. Jenkins got a hand on it. Blackshear ends up with it. 6 Loubs with a field goal here tonight. Brown, wide open 3. Ooh, a little off.
A little heat check early there from Isaiah Brown. Sees all the shots the other Brown's getting for Seattle.
Brown's got it. I don't know what that was. Trying to get it to Miles Carter or take a shot.
Either way, it wasn't good. He shouldn't argue for either.
Blackshear, far side. Brown quickly, bounce pass into Johnson. Turns on Means, a lot of traffic. Step back, and that one goes in.
What a tough shot. He dribbled right into the team, felt the double and turned back away, under control for that pull-up.
Hayford calls a timeout for Seattle.
This is when Javon Blackshear stripped it and then barely with a toe touching, spun and threw it back inside. And this is what Isaiah Brown can give the Loubs. They've had a lack of bench scoring so much this season. They just need to supplement people like Carlos Johnson because he's found his game in that middle game, the post-ups, the drives. He's got all that arsenal going, and he looks like he's emphasizing it more because he knows in the paint his power can't be matched.
Well, for every 3-point shot that GCU makes, Canyon State Credit Union will make a donation to the Students Inspiring Student Scholarship. For more information, go to giving.gcu.edu. Loubs on a mini 5-0 run after Seattle took their first lead of the game earlier on. It is a watch and win night. Text WIN the WAC to 602-639-8979. You'll be entered into the contest. A lucky winner will be selected at halftime. Look, Vegas. Always a great time.
That's a tough one. Matchup there for Isaiah Brown. Jones using his size a little bit to take him down low. Javon Blackshear Jr. is going to come immediately back into the game here, but also want to highlight what a great effort freshman Bryce Okpo gave while he was in there. He was all over the boards every time, played some great defense down there. He's just growing so much from a guy that early in the season we talked about might redshirt, you know, and because of the numbers situation, he was kind of thrust into action. But Dan Marley loves his maturity and his work ethic. And he's a guy who just understands his role. He's not looking for the score. He's going to hustle, get boards, and play good defense.
Delonte Jones hits the front end. He's got 9, averaging coming in 8.2 points per game. Aided by a couple of threes. 2-point Loubs lead. Under 10 minutes to go now, opening half. Johnson comes back, slices into the paint, trip to the ball. Loubs will retain possession.
You could just see him shift. He goes from 3rd gear to 4th gear. As soon as he sees daylight between a couple of red jerseys and splits him.
Gotta have a little better effort here on the inbound.
Yeah, you know, the inbound's been a tricky one for the Loubs all season, especially under the basket sometimes. You know, at the end of the Kansas City game, they actually executed pretty well against full court pressure with Lorenzo Jenkins.
Oh, look at that. He freed him up. What a play. Nice turn of events for the Loubs. Beautiful bucket by Dixon.
That's just good mojo by you, Barry, to bring up the inbounding issues. They showed you up.
Jordan Dallas, 6'10", in the game for the Redhawks, and Brown puts it in.
Yeah, it's those paint touches. They're getting in deep, and it's getting to be an easy look when they get those 5-foot floaters.
Oh, Dallas is on Laver. Frees him up, though, Laver. Ooh, almost picked off by Brown. Carlos Johnson, swift moves, twisty, turning. Got one in the face, no whistle.
Yeah, there was a lot of traffic there, and Ollie Laver was sitting by himself at the 3-point line.
Brown. Good ball movement right there. Morgan Means back to Brown. Far side, Jones. Morgan Means look for some help from DeCampo. Brown, top of the key, goes left, stops. Big looping shot finds its way in the bucket.
Again, the paint touches. They talked about building that moat around the lane and keeping Seattle out of there, but they're finding their dribble drive penetration.
Brown and Jones with 20 points for the Redhawks, tied at 21. Laver leaves for Dixon. Coming off a 21-point performance. Jenkins, 3. Laver's there, and he's fouled. Look at the inbound. We'll take another look.
Yeah, you see the double action there, and Dixon's able to trail the first guy rubbing off the screen and just beat everybody to the spot. That's a spot he practices shooting all the time. He's a great mid-range shooter. He's not just a spot-up three-point shooter like so many great shooters are. He finds those middle spots, pull-ups, floaters. He's got a lot of game on different levels to score.
Johnson to inbound again. Finds Jenkins. DeCampo on him. Back out to Dixon. Means out. Nettles back in for the Redhawks. Foul. Seattle. Jordan Dallas.
He seems to be a little bit overmatched. I think they're gonna take him out. He didn't get much of a look there. Every time it looked like he wasn't going to be able to handle Laver down the post. Just not so much a size perspective, but just the experience and savvy about how to use your body and position.
Oh, picked off again. Brown takes it all the way. And a foul, hoop and a harm. Another nasty turn of events for GCU.
Yeah, just a sloppy inbound, and the live ball turnovers is what will undo Dan Marley every time, because it's so hard to defend in the open court when you make those type of turnovers. You can live with something out of bounds, but the Loubs have been such a good turnover team as far as controlling them. Both these teams have been in the top 30 nationally. The Loubs have kept it 12 or under for the past 10 games, but they're already at 5 for tonight, and we're not even 12 minutes through the game.
Blackshear with 2 personal fouls. Shouldn't have had to pick that one up. Brown brings it up. Blackshear on the bench. Johnson. Up over the top. Nice pass. Laver. Back out to Johnson for 3. Off the mark.
Well, you almost would have rather not have the foul called there. Isaiah Brown was going to have a clean layup.
Yep. 7:49 on the clock. As the Loubs trail the Redhawks by 3. After the Loubs were out to a 13-5 lead, the Redhawks came back Boy, the Loubs went on a little bit of a run. The Loubs are +7 in rebounding tonight, but Carlos Johnson is definitely a guy who's had a couple of miscues on the inbounds, but a guy that they're going to heavily call upon here to help lead the Loubs here tonight.
Yeah, well, we could see the aggressor in his game being there tonight. He immediately was trying to drive in and penetrate a lot. That's when he's at his best, not settling for threes. He can get hot from out there, and that can supplement, but the best thing he does is when he drives and he draws fouls. He just has a feel for traffic and knows how to split them and can take contact and finish, and then the rest of his game comes and he gets the jumper going. He's got that mid-range jumper. We saw last season he get hot with the three down the stretch, but this is really his game because he's strong enough to post people up as well as dribble drive.
8 points for Carlos, 3 rebounds. Again, it's a watch and win night. Free tickets to Las Vegas, the WAC tournament, the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas in March. Starting now, text WIN the WAC to 602-639-8979 before halftime. Include your name and what city you are watching the Loubs from, and you will be entered into our watch and win contest. The winner will be randomly selected. If you want to have more information about the WAC tournament, go to gculoubs.com/events. All ticket, hotel, event information will be right there for you. Always a great time. Loubs fans come out in full force.
It's a wide open WAC this year. You know, New Mexico State is again the leader, but they've had a couple recent injuries that make them a little bit vulnerable. Yeah, Queen on top of losing A.J. Harris earlier in the season. And, you know, you've seen through the conference just tight games. And this Seattle team was within 2 of New Mexico State last week with a minute and a half to go and let it get away. But everybody else, you know, Kansas City played New Mexico State close earlier season. Seattle and Kansas City went to triple overtime. So there's a lot of parity in the league, which leaves a chance for the Loubs to quickly get back in this race if they start taking care of home court.
All right, here we go again. Red Hawks freed up is Lorenzo Jenkins. Trying to muscle his way past DeCampo. Stops, pops, but looks like DeCampo is going to be called.
Yeah, it looks like whether it's Labor or Jenkins or Carlos Johnson, the Loubs feel like they can go into the post and have an advantage. Either have an advantage or draw the double teams. We've seen them just collapsing all over the place on Labor and Johnson, doubles and triples. Lorenzo Jenkins got a chance to operate one-on-one there and took advantage.
Jenkins hits the front end. Coach Hayford in his 3rd season, head coach of Seattle. In and out. Red Hawks up by 2. Brown. Dixon on him. Goes left, step back. It's good. That was smooth and silky.
Yeah, that was a little bit more of a tough shot. It's not him driving all the way away. He had to pull up and fade away. That's more of a hat tip shot.
4-point lead. Dixon with an opening. Big right hand and in. Wide open lane.
I gave the big man a little head fake to make him think he might cut back in, so that way he could move away from him on the left side and still use the right hand.
Moving right is Brown. Now to the left. Long distance shot off the rim.
Yeah, they're fine with Grigsby taking those threes. There's plenty of shooters on this team. He's not one of them.
11 for 60 from the arc is Grigsby coming into the game. Brown drives, right hand. Oh, it doesn't go. Foul.
Again, the Loubs crashing the boards. Ali Labor get in there, and the Loubs keep driving. And, you know, Isaiah Brown did it there. Here's Mikey Dixon doing it the last time. They're taking Seattle off the dribble. Mikey Dixon was earlier in his games with GCU, his debuts, he was trying to do that too much, going into big men and not being able to finish. But now he's got that balance where he's taking the early shots outside and sort of setting up the defense to drive by him.
Okpo in for Jenkins. Loubs have 8 offensive rebounds here in the opening half. Labor at the line.
Loubs have yet to make a 3 tonight. They're coming off 2 games where they shot better than 50% from three-point range.
First time in the D1 era, back-to-back games.
So
That's
you
incredible.
thought maybe something was really getting going there, and here they are tonight, 0 for 6. But it seems like with this matchup tonight, their success is to get downhill, get into the post, drive, and maybe those threes will resurface.
Brown bounce pass. Grigsby, far side, bounce pass from Nettles. Into Carter. Carter off the rim. Okpo with the rebound.
Yeah, 2 straight possessions where the GCU defense makes Seattle take the type of shots it would rather take.
Brown, looking left, goes right. 6 minutes to go, opening half. Labor, quickly to Brown. Foul. Aaron Nettles for the Redhawks.
The Loubs will take that. These are some free points these last couple trips, going to the line in the bonus. Came after a time where they were struggling a little bit with the turnovers, getting out of their personality as being a good ball care team, but now they're getting back to putting Seattle on its heels and either driving or drawing the fouls with those dribble drives.
Nettles checks out. Galante Jones back in. Brown hits the front end.
Isaiah Brown's mother and grandmother are here. They fly down from Seattle just about every time they can to watch him play. They even went to the Virgin Islands. Might have had some other motives for that trip, but they definitely were at least there.
Their arm to the Virgin Islands. Great story with the Browns. Oh, just over the outstretched hand of Okpo. Back out Brown. Steps back. 14, 13 on the shot clock. Doesn't get any help. Driving, step back. Rebound pulled down up by Mikey Dixon.
Terrell Brown was contained that time. Had to pull up outside the paint. He's been hurting them by getting in the lane.
Dixon, underneath, oh, stripped of it is Okpo. Loose ball, Carter leaves it there for Morgan Means.
Still gotta like the look from Dixon there to set him up like that.
Looks back up by 2. Carter, travel.
Yeah, when they get the ball in the hands of guys like Carter and Grigsby, that's the type of offense they want Seattle to be forced into. Those guys aren't ball handlers, they're not shooters. They've got too many guys like Brown and Means and Nettles and all these other guys that can do damage, but if Carter or Grigsby are trying to put it on the ground, that's GCU's favor.
Carter takes a seat, Jordan Dallas back in. Labor, open for 3. Good!
That's a shot that Ollie Labor's been taking a little bit more of lately. He's probably their best three-point shooter alongside Mikey Dixon, but they like him on the post so much he doesn't get a lot of chance. But now this is a 9-0 run for the Loubs.
DeCampo underneath, kicks it back out. Dallas, way off the mark. Pulled down by Labor. Havoc's will let him have it.
I saw some of the Havoc's pregame material on their scouting report. It's amazing.
They do their homework. Ooh, a little off the mark. Labor hitting the 3.
Yeah, just again, Dallas doesn't know how to guard Labor. You know, he had a hard time with it on the post, and now he's almost shocked to see him 22 feet out. But Labor's comfortable out there. He's got such a smooth stroke, and he doesn't need a jump to release it. He's 6'10". That thing releases from 8 feet high. Nobody's blocking it.
Okpo out, Jenkins in. Brown and Jones for Seattle, 25 of 2016 points for the Redhawks. Put an end to a 9-0 run for GCU over the last 247. Seattle still 0 for their last 4 from the field.
Loubs now have 3 players with 2 fouls. Blackshear and Okpo out of the game now. Isaiah Brown in there with 2.
Means hits both. 3-point Loubs lead. Brown looks over to head coach Dan Marley. Dixon turns. Ooh, DeCampo got a hand on it. GCU retains possession, 12 on the shot clock.
It's a good matchup there for Jenkins, but he's so far out, it's not really advantageous on a post-up to be so far extended. He's got to get him back a little bit deeper to take advantage of that mismatch.
Johnson to Brown. Cuts back. Ooh, Jenkins puts it on the floor. Left hand. It's stopped, but it goes in. Hoop it hard.
Wow, Doobie, as they call him. He got out to the line, and they have to respect his soft touch, but he pumps it, goes by the man, and takes the contact to finish for a 33-28 lead.
Lorenzo going to the line.
This Waste Management Phoenix Open will finally be his.
Welcome back. Loubs with a 5-point lead over Seattle U with just under 4 to go in the first half. And we take a look now with our BSN athletic calendar. Friday and Saturday this week in track and field is at the MLK Invitational, and then men's volleyball also in action at Invitational in Missouri. And on Saturday, we'll be right back here with you starting at 5:30 with our Loubs pregame show as the Loubs take on Utah Valley. Meanwhile, coming up in just under 4 minutes, I will be standing right here courtside with Dan Marley to get his thoughts on this first half and how his team is holding up against Seattle University. As you guys know, the team has a chance right now to do some movement in those WAC standings. So when you're in conference action, every game matters. You better believe Dan Marley knows that.
No doubt about it, Kate. Be back with you in approximately 4 minutes. Dan Marley's working hard.
Lorenzo Jenkins going to the line. He already has 5 points. He had 10 at Chicago State, and they, you know, Dan Marley talked so much about grad transfers and how they've been developing later in the season. We saw it with Casey Benson, Michael Finke, and maybe this is starting to happen with Lorenzo Jenkins now because he has the skill level to be a threat in a lot of different ways. He grew up as a guard, so he's a more skilled big man and can shoot it and pass it.
Wow, wide open look, and he misfires. Morgan Means left unintended in the corner.
Big chance for the Loubs to step on him a little bit here with their biggest lead.
Dixon to Laver, leaves a handoff to Johnson. High off the, oh, it doesn't go.
You could see the decision in his eyes to drive before he even got the ball. He was already sort of matriculating that way even before it touched his hands. And once he gets the motion going, he has inertia that can't be stopped even with 3 guys trying to step in front.
Johnson to the line, 3:33 to go, opening half. Johnson with 9.
Laston passed that 1,000-point mark tonight.
Yep. Ooh, doesn't go. Redhawks bring it up. Trailing by 7. Brown. Ooh, doesn't go. Laver, did he get a hand on it?
Yeah, look at the rim protector out of Laver. We can say that a lot.
Be careful. Brown was sneaking down the back door there and almost popped it up. Dixon stepped back, short. Trying to get that loose ball. It's on the floor. Brown is there. Timeout, Hayford.
Like to see Lorenzo Jenkins getting on the floor. It seems like the more he's engaged offensively, then you see the other parts of his games come out.
Let's send it down to Kate Longworth.
Hey guys, take a trip around the WAC where you see the latest notes going on here in conference action. And the big news of talk of the conference, of course, New Mexico State. They continue to set and break records right now, riding quite the win streak, 20 straight games in conference action.
Incredible. Aggies atop the conference. We mentioned Javon Queen goes down, meniscus surgery. They say 4 to 6 weeks. So with the game coming up in Las Cruces within that window, he'll be out of that lineup. And the Aggies return here at the end of February. So that's right on the edge there of when he is expected to return, but he's lethal for Javon Queen.
Yeah, we say they've got a lot of guys who could do some damage. It seems like they hand the baton off game to game about who can do it, but the Loubs have a huge opportunity this week with these 2 home games. Now that they're back to 2-2 in conference, you know, that 0-2 start felt really tough for the Loubs because it happened over 2 weeks. It was really just like having a bad week in the WAC.
You're right.
But that stung a lot more because they didn't get a win on the board for 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden they're back in it with a 2-0 week. If they hold court here like they always have over the Dan Marley era here in the Division I era of GCU Arena, all of a sudden they're in 4th, 3rd, maybe even 2nd place, depending on how other things go in the WAC. Tonight they could definitely get leapfrog Seattle and get into 4th. And if they're in that upper tier, now all of a sudden you're in the mix and you control your own destiny a little bit more when you face off those teams head to head.
Seattle won't go away quietly. Jones moving in. Ooh, got the elbow right in front of Isaiah Brown, and
that'll be his 3rd. That's a tough one. Isaiah Brown really anticipated the spin move.
Wow.
And was there to meet him. Tough call here.
That is a tough call. But that's 3, as you mentioned, on Isaiah Brown. Blackshear is going to be. Ooh, got the right shoulder.
Yeah, just not enough space there. He anticipated the move, but no room for him to turn with him right there.
Back in the ballgame for the Loubs, number 10, Javon Blackshear, Jr.
Blackshear in for Brown. Jones at the line. 11 points for Jones. Back end hits the rim and bounces out. 2:45 to go opening half. Reminder, Kate Longworth will be joined by Coach Marley coming off the floor at the end of the half. Over the top, Laver, Carter's on him. Pushing with that right. Oh, he looked for the blind pass for Jenkins, but Seattle said no, sorry. Bounce pass, off the glass, swatted by Jenkins, but the putback by the Red Hawks.
Yeah, Carlos Johnson with a great swat, but just not enough recovery in the transition for more Loubs to be there for the board.
Carter puts it home. 4-point Loubs lead. Seattle trying to chip away before the end of the half. Blackshear. Back out, Laver's got some time. Big 3. Oh, doesn't go. 2 minutes to go opening half. Driving his means. Stop, short. Laver came in.
Such a great play by Mikey Dixon on the first initial drive to get his ball on the hand, but kind of remove himself from any contact. But now that one's going to be on Laver, and he joins the crew of guys who have 2 or more fouls.
Oakpo's going to check in. Means at the line. Havoc's in the home crowd. Trying to throw that shooter off. Laver's going to take a seat, as you mentioned, with 2. Oakpo in.
I saw some of that material that the Havoc's have on these guys. They have things like Morgan Means likes pineapple on his pizza. And
amazing what social media you can find out. It's a good lesson for everybody out there. Jenkins cutting in underneath again off the fingertips of Oakpo.
It's just so uncharacteristic for this Loub team to be sloppy with the ball.
Yep.
That's their 8th turnover, and they haven't had more than 12 in 10 straight games.
You mentioned turnovers at the top of the game. Back out Grigsby, bounce pass picked off. Mikey Dixon. Coast to coast, no, but Okpo puts it away.
Putting the O in Okpo. He chased the ball down all the way there onto the court and slammed it back in.
Great follow-up. Brown in the corner. Means inside. Carter baseline, trying to muscle his way in and does.
Yeah, muscle is right. That's a tough one for Bryce Okpo. He hasn't had enough time in the GCU weight room yet to handle that guy.
Under a minute to go. 3-point Loubs lead. Jenkins, high by Grigsby. Dixon drives. Reverse, not there. Would have been pretty, but it didn't drop. Here come the Redhawks. Cutting in, losing the handle. Blackshear.
So good with his hands on defense. The moment he felt like that handle was loose, he just went in and snatched it.
Timeout, Dan Marley and GCU, 30.4 seconds remain.
The Loubs have trouble sometimes with a fast break, but not when they get 2 chances at it. Bryce Okpo ran all the way down court. Just great hustle to not assume that the layup was going to get finished. He gets a clean slam for his effort. Okpo's got 6 boards tonight.
Amazing.
That's just energy. That's just effort and energy. He's really a raw player right now, but he rounds out his game. He's the first one out here working on his jump shot. You know, he's not looking to take it a bunch of the game, but he's really trying to improve. And you know, now the Loubs have 9 offensive boards with that last Okpo one, giving them 9 second chance points in the game. And with a 3-point lead, that's been a huge difference in this half.
Roaring 20s night. A few havocs with dressed in the theme. Of course, we're back in another roaring 20s, right? Here we go again, 2020.
Looks kind of roaring into the 20s this time, and they cooled off a little bit. Let's Seattle back in it.
Jenkins, Blackshear. 12 on the shot clock, wide open look, Dixon. Oh, off the mark.
That's really the perfect Mikey Dixon look, too. You almost just expect that to go down. That's a clean, squared up 3-point shot.
Redhawks take their time looking for that final bucket. Brown drives, short. And the Loubs up on top by 3 at the first half buzzer. Loubs 5-0 and leading at the half this season. Let's send it down to Kate Longworth with the head coach, Dan Marley.
All right, thank you very much. Well, Coach, all 7 guys who've stepped on the court so far in this first half have a point to their name. What has been fueling this balanced attack by the Loubs in the first half?
We're doing all right. We moved the ball early, and then we had some success, and then we stopped moving the ball. We started going one-on-one basketball, and that hasn't worked for us. Way too many turnovers. We don't turn the ball over that much. Careless plays out of bounds, and then we fouled way too early to get them in the bonus. So we got to clean all that up.
Seattle U's Brown continues to lead all scorers. What will be the key to containing him in the second half?
Well, he's a really good player. That's what he does. He gets into the paint and he makes tough shots. We just got to continue to try to keep him out of paint and make him make tough twos.
All right, thank you very much, head coach Dan Marley. Right now, the Loubs with a 3-point lead as we head to the break. And as you can see, it's not only intense for the players on the court, but head coach Dan Marley as well. He'll check in with his team right now, and when we come back, we'll check in with head baseball coach Andy Stankiewicz. That's more coming up on the Loubs Halftime Show right after this.
When it comes to school spirit, we do it best. Loubs up.
Loubs up. Loubs up.
Loubs up from Afghanistan.
Hear the thunder. Hear Loubs. Loubs up. Hear the thunder.
Waking up with peace of mind. Just one of the little perks you get with the SRP Power app. Use it to make conscious decisions on the energy you use every day. No guessing. Everything you need to know. Download the SRP Power app now. SRP, delivering water and power.
GCU, they give you the tools to find what your purpose truly is. My name is Joseph, and I'm earning my Bachelor of Arts degree at GCU.
There's thunder in all of us. Come find your purpose at Grand Canyon University.
Welcome back to the Loubs halftime show where quite a performance is taking place center court right now. It's the Volta Air Show entertaining the Havocs as they celebrate the Roaring 20s here at GCU Arena tonight. And right now the Loubs with a 3-point lead over the Red Hawks of Seattle U. We'll be talking a lot more Loubs basketball, but first we take this brief timeout to welcome in men's baseball head coach Andy Stankiewicz. Thanks so much for being here.
Hey, pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're going to dive into the upcoming season, but first, what did it mean to you to garner quite awards with your recruits? Top 30 for the 2019 class. And what does that mean to this university and the program you're getting talent like this?
That means we're very good. I guess that's what it means. Put a little
I think it means a good coach too, right?
No, I don't know about that. Put pressure on us. No, it's good. We're excited. Yeah, our recruiting coordinator, Greg Wallace, coach did a great job. A lot of local talent, really good players. The school is building. I think the brand is building. People are getting excited about GCU baseball and GCU basketball, all of our sports. And so we're able to get a young man on campus that gets excited about coming here. And we're starting to get a little bit more physical player, and it's a good thing. So we're excited about the next couple of years. We feel like we got some nice recruits coming in.
Yeah, and I think that you speak for yourself with the coaching history here, and obviously GCU Ballpark stands out. But also there's a lot to look forward to with the current squad, and you guys will be opening the season right here on Fox 10 Extra. It's a Valentine's Day date, February 4th. First pitch, 6 p.m. against Oklahoma State. What are you anticipating?
Yeah, it'll be fun. And that's one of the great things about being in the Valley. It's great for baseball. As you know, we've got a beautiful stadium, so we're able to. This is the second time Oklahoma State's coming to open up. We had TCU 2 years ago. Last year we had Wichita State. Next year we already have Missouri on the schedule for next year's opener. So Oklahoma State, I'm sure they're a top 15, top 20 team. If you want to be one of the best in the country, you got to start playing the best in the country. And that's the way we kind of look at it. The guys are excited about it. That's what they want. That's what we want. I think that's what our university wants as well. And so, they'll be big and strong, but we'll just be fast and strong. So we'll be right there.
It works for your career, right? And it's also exciting times for fans of Arizona baseball as you continue to renew rivalries with some squads. You will go up against ASU this year at home and home here at GCU on April 21st and back at their house on April 7th. And then U of A May 12th. You'll also be making a trip to Tucson in April. How exciting is this for the state of Arizona, and what are you looking forward to? Because I know it's big for you to get the Sun Devils on the schedule, and you've enjoyed that rivalry with the Wildcats.
For sure, no, it's great. I mean, it's great for the state of Arizona. That a lot of our guys grew up with a lot of the players from ASU and U of A. They all know each other. Families know each other. It's a great in-state rivalry. I think for all three of us, we certainly want to be a part of it. So we're excited to be able to go down to Tempe and play them, and then come back here and play at Brazel. That's what it's about. That's what it's for. And we knew it was just a matter of time before we were able to play ASU. And Coach Tracy Smith over at ASU has always been a great supporter, us of them, them of us. And so it's exciting. It'll be fun for everybody.
Well, we are looking forward to it, and we are looking forward to that February 14th when the baseball team will tip off the season right here at on GCU campus at the state-of-the-art ballpark, and that is February 14th on Fox 10 Extra. All right, thank you so much, Coach, for joining us. We'll see you in 21 days. The countdown is on. We'll be back with more Loubs halftime show right after this.
State Credit Union, a local credit union serving the Valley for over 65 years, can assist you in buying your first home, refinancing your current home, or if you're dreaming of a retirement home. Canyon State Credit Union can provide you with a fast and affordable solution that meets your needs. Let Canyon State Credit Union run the numbers on your dream. Visit CanyonStateCU.org or call 623-580-6015 for more information. Canyon State Credit Union, committed to you. We do business in accordance with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, MLS number 410376.
Performance is your profession. You excel in bringing the best out of people and teams to discover their true potential, but you strive to take the next step in your career. GCU's PhD in Performance Psychology online degree program gives you the tools you need to elevate your performance to the next level and do it all within your tight schedule. When human excellence meets cutting-edge technology, business advances.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Back at GCU Arena with the Loubs up by 3 over the Redhawks. Barry Butel, Paul Caro in for Scott Williams, a little bit under the weather tonight. And Paul, the Loubs insider, you can check out all of his work on GCULoubs.com. And Paul, this a lot of work by the Loubs in the first half as they go out to a 3-point lead, and everybody on the score sheet, everybody's contributed.
Yeah, it's great to look at the balanced scoring, but the key with this game is Seattle's the best offensive team in the WAC, and they're holding them to 34% shooting. That's team basketball right there, the group effort of doing that, and guys like Bryce Okpo contributing with 7 boards. You know, when he's been on the floor, they're a plus 13 in 13 minutes. When he's off the floor, they're a minus 10. So that's the kind of difference just a hustler, a defender makes out there for the Loubs.
Tons of effort and energy by Bryce Okpo. Our highlights brought to you by SRP, delivering water and power.
Yeah, he's just been an effort guy all the way around. He doesn't have to have the ball to do it. And then you have everybody contributing. Blackshear Jr.'s had some nice steals and hit a J. Jenkins gives him a boost off the bench because he can score in a different way. Isaiah Brown maybe is getting his jumper going. And Mikey Dixon, I think there'll be more still to come from him. He was 2 for 8 in the first half, and we know he's a better scorer and shooter than that.
First half stats brought to you by Commonwealth Insurance, the way insurance should be. Rebounding margin heavily in favor of GCU. I know they don't like those 8 turnovers.
No, that's far too much for how the Loubs have played this season. They've been one of the best ball care teams in the nation, and so is Seattle. And Seattle's continuing to play that way, but the Loubs have given them 13 points off turnovers, and that's because a lot of those turnovers have turned straight into easy, fast breaks. And as good as the Loubs have defended all game, they can't defend those types of things as well.
We'll have to keep an eye on the personal fouls, and we'll see how the Loubs respond coming out of the locker room. Up by 3. Kate will be back as we return with our halftime festivities from GCU Arena right after this.
Whether you crave the night or savor the day, here we give you all a place to play. Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
One more member on our roster. Streets of New York is proud to announce Grand Canyon University to our winning team. We are now the official pizza of GCU. Go Loubs.
When my hot water heater failed, she was pregnant, in-laws were coming, a little bit of water, it rocked our world.
I had no idea the amount of damage that water could do.
We called USAA, and they greeted me as they always do. Sergeant Baker, how are you? They were on it. It was unbelievable. Having insurance is something everyone needs, but having USAA, that's a privilege. We're the Bakers, and we're USAA members for life.
USAA. Get your insurance quote today.
GCU taking a 3-point lead at the break, and Oko coming in big off the bench right here. He had 4.7 rebounds in the first half, and right now GCU does have that 3-point lead over the Red Hawks, and every Loubs player who stepped on court tonight, well, they found the basket. Johnson leading the way with 9 points, followed by WAC reigning player of the week, Labor. He has 7 points. Jenkins with 6 points to his name. And perhaps no surprise here, he does lead all of the conference in scoring. Terrell Brown with 15 points to his name. And in talking with Coach Marley at the break, he said they knew this was going to be the story tonight, and now they had to find the answer to put this away in the second half, as the Loubs hope to build on a win streak, looking for their 3rd straight victory tonight. We'll be back with more action. The second half is underway. We're hope you're ready for some exciting hoops, because it's coming at you right here, Fox 10 Extra, right after this.
Across the green desert to where the mountains touch the sky. This is Sanderson Ford country, where Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford country, built on serving you. Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford.
Waking up with peace of mind. Just one of the little perks you get with the SRP Power app. Use it to make conscious decisions on the energy you use every day. No guessing. Everything you need to know. Download the SRP Power app now. SRP, delivering water and power.
This Waste Management Phoenix Open will finally be his.
Loubs on top, 37-34. 9 points for Carlos Johnson. Chipped in also 6 rebounds for the Loubs.
Carlos Johnson has done it in a lot of ways, but the best way is when he gets downhill like that. He's hard to guard. He can shoot the J, but he's better when he's putting the ball on the floor and getting in the paint, getting in between Seattle defenders, drawing contact, posting up. He's got the whole arsenal. He's 4 of 7 tonight. Pretty efficient, only taking the 1-3 tomorrow. Left a couple points at the line, missed a couple around the rim. The only thing with Carlos Johnson is he has 3 turnovers in that half too. But sometimes with those high usage guys, you got to live with some of that stuff if you're going to have to put the ball in his hands to create that often.
As the Loubs get their instructions from head coach Dan Marley. Our winner of our Win the WAC Watch and Win tonight is Patrick Feeney. Patrick Feeney, congratulations. Patrick watching from West Laco, Texas. The winner last year from Colorado. Loubs fans everywhere. Coach, we had 80,000 online students at GCU all across the country, all across the globe. Let's send it down to Kate Longworth. We've got a wardrobe.
Well, guys, I was right on the court at halftime next to Dan Marley. So this is a first-hand account eyewitness right here. I was standing next to him in a dress shirt he was wearing and a jacket. And, well, let's just say we know Dan Marley is intense. I kind of referenced that. Well, I think he sweat through the original wardrobe. Brought out number 2, looking good in the collared shirt. GCU out there with the logo, and he's ready to go. And you can see, I mean, I'm not analyzing this much, but if he had like that Tide pen or something, maybe we could have got rid of those.
Kate, did you spill water on him?
Yeah.
That's the story we're going with. I spilled water on him. I'll take one for the team on that one.
Get a Haynes endorsement.
Well, Jim Hayward was wearing the polo anyway.
He gave him a high five. He was laughing at Marley. They gave him a high five.
Those guys are actually pretty good friends as far as fellow coaches in the WAC. He gets along with them really well.
Oh, Brown with a nice move. Doesn't go, though.
Yeah, Johnson with the position inside for the board. Done a great job on the boards tonight. Draws the foul there just by being inside the bigger man.
There's Hayford. Look at that.
I think Hayford's
welcome
happier.
to the party, man. Polo, the way to go.
I've seen him after losing a game here where he's so happy to see Dan Marley after the game because they're such good friends.
Great coaches in this conference. Dixon, far side, off the wing, back out front, Oakpo. Looked inside, now he's going to go near side. Blackshear, bounce pass, Labor, just beyond Grigsby. Turns back out. Dixon puts it on the floor, drives, doesn't go. Foul?
We're going to call a shot clock violation. It looked like at the last minute, yeah, he got blocked. That might, if the block was before the shot clock violation, that should have been reset as a live ball.
Interesting. Brown. Oakpo got in his way. Kick back near side. Quick three-pointer and in. Big bucket.
That stings, but you got to live with that. That's not one of their prime three-point shooters. You play the odds with that one.
Grigsby tying the game at 37. Oaks fans still on their feet, looking for that first bucket of the half. Blackshear moves right. Looks back left. Labor quickly to Johnson. Johnson moves to his right. Long three. Little flat. Rebound picked up by Morgan Means. Leaves for Brown.
Whoa, that's a tough foul call. It must be on Blackshear because Labor was straight up on the help.
Got Blackshear. That's his third. Half not starting the Loubs way here. Inbound. Brown. Back out. Jones. Near side. Quick three. Off the mark. Rebound. Picked up by Blackshear. Blackshear driving right up the gut. Off the glass. Take a seat.
I like the aggression. Not necessarily a classic fast break, but a transition score. Catching Seattle unbalanced.
Floater by Brown off the glass. Big rebound. Dixon. Looks up by 2. Cuts back out in front, top of the key. Leaves for Labor right next to him. He'll lead for Johnson. Step back, looking for an opening. Kicks back out, Blackshear. Good D by the Red Hawks. Shutting down those lanes. Blackshear wants Oakpo out. 6 on the shot clock. Got to do something. Labor stops, pops. Oh, off the rim. Rebound. Oakpo, fresh 20 on the clock. Dixon, long three. Oh, that doesn't go. Couple of whacks at it, and the Loubs can't put it home.
Yeah, really good looks. It's Labor's just 5th field goal attempt of the game. Seattle's fronting him, doing everything they can to keep it out of his hands until Blackshear drew 3 defenders.
Brown again with his hands on it. Ooh, almost lost it. Dixon almost picked it off. Open look for 3. In and out. Well, Seattle looking to regain the momentum. Grigsby putting up some threes here. Attempts, that is. Oh, and a big bucket by Oakpo. How about the freshman?
Well, that's that shot he's been working on so much in the gym. They just need him to be accountable for those mid-rangers because defenses leave him thinking he's not an offensive threat. But if you get an open 10-footer, you got to be able to knock it down like that.
6 points, 8 boards for Oakpo. Long three. Oh, with some help.
Yeah, that touched every part of the red.
Morgan Means. He's a 28% three-point shooter. Dixon looked for Labor, guarded heavily. Johnson. Back to Dixon in front of the Loubs bench. Oakpo comes out. Puts it on the floor, stops, pops beyond the key. Big rebound, Labor. He's fouled. Looks like Means is going to be called.
A little bit beyond Bryce Oakpo's range.
Yes.
Might be about 10 feet and in. This is Moore's range right here, but he stepped out to about 18 feet on that last one and shot at about 21 feet.
Feeling good, 15-49. Back and forth they go. The Loubs up by 1.
You use
use the latest technology to treat patients, but your care and compassion is timeless. Advancing your career means helping more patients and providing even more care. Grand Canyon University's online programs in nursing make it convenient for you to become the expert every patient deserves.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/online.
GCU men's basketball is brought to you in part by Sanderson Ford. The best play in a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford. By BSN Sports, the largest provider of team sports equipment and apparel in the country. And by SRP, delivering water and power. Barry Butel, Paul Coro in for Scott Williams tonight. We hope Paul gets back on the mend, a little under the weather. And Kate Longworth here from GCU Arena.
Get well, Scotty. We miss you up here.
No doubt. We'll be back here on Saturday night. Utah Valley. Mark Madsen, first-year head coach of the Wolverines. They're 2-3. They're a game back of the Loubs here entering tonight's play.
Yeah, you lose one NBA guy when Mark Pope leaves you, and you pick up another one. So Dan Marley still has NBA company.
Stopping and popping doesn't go. A couple of Redhawks. DeCampo took the brunt of the body of Miles Carter.
Mikey Dixon, 2 for 10 tonight, just when you thought he had it going.
Oh, look at that, Carter underneath. Travel, Carter again. Oh, poor Miles Hayford's not happy with that.
Miles Carter done more traveling than the Loubs did last week.
Blackshear near side of Dixon. Back out. Lorenzo Jenkins. Oh, up over the top. How about Doobie's pass?
Doobie looks at his hands.
Picked it off. Blackshear. Love the effort. Carlos Johnson. How about that turn of events?
That's a way to get back up to 5 in a hurry. Around the rim is real high rate of conversion.
Blackshear, man, he is lethal. Way off the mark. Foul on the 3. Oh, Lorenzo.
This first one was such a pretty pass from Doobie. He's got such a nice touch as a big man to throw that high post pass, and they've had fits trying to get it to Laver down low, and then there it is, Carlos Johnson all by himself. Laver lifting.
Oh. Pump up the jam. Raise the roof. It is loud in here.
That is a bit of a fable about this arena when they added the seats, right? That they raised the roof.
They did indeed.
Is that a technical foul for the water bottle on the floor from the bench?
Did Hayford throw it?
He's fired up.
Ooh.
His assistant's coming to get him because he wants to discuss this a little bit more than the officials are willing.
Non-shooting foul. Coach is mad. Whoa. Whoa, you got a rebound off of the chair there.
Yeah.
You meant to throw it under the seat.
Tough break.
That's a tough rebound there by Coach Hayford.
It's just not an accurate pass. He's trying to throw it into the cushion, and he hit the hard parts. If he's accurate with his pass, it doesn't go on the court.
Well, he's obviously trying to get some emotion on his team.
It's almost physical contact right there.
Whoa. Careful, Coach. Careful. Inbound, Brown finds Jones, quick 3. Oh, maybe that got the team fired up.
Delonte Jones likes seeing the Loubs. He's not a big scorer for them, but every time he sees the Loubs, he scored double digits for 4 straight games.
Jenkins looking for Laver again up over the top. This time he goes bounce pass. 3 now.
Don't make Dan Marley change shirts again with these sorts of turnovers. It's going to drive him crazy. Loubs already up to 11 turnovers now. It's almost their average for the season.
Dixon second. 4-point Loubs lead. DeCampo moving on Laver. Moves right. Big right hand and in. Nice move by DeCampo.
Yeah, some Italian on Italian crime there, huh?
Venice wins that battle over Balzano. Johnson. Bounce pass. Laver working on Carter. Goes right. Oh, travel. Yes. Alessandro.
He dragged that off foot. Yeah. He had Miles Carter beat. His initial move beat him, and he just needed to go ahead and finish the shot, but he tried to scoot a little bit closer with the slide. They finally single covered him. His eyes should light up in that moment.
Loubs lead is just 2. DeCampo. Laver's letting it get into his head there, and that's his 3rd on Laver. Got to get his head back in the game.
This is a tough guard for him. We've seen it 2 trips in a row where Laver's going to have a tough time covering him on the perimeter. They're trying to isolate him out there.
Do anything to try to draw that foul. He's got to be really careful. That's how teams game plan against the Loubs. Far side, DeCampo puts it on the floor, drives into the paint. Big right hand again, doesn't fall. Loubs looking to add to that 2-point cushion. Seattle storming back. Johnson for 3. Ooh, off the rim, rebound, pulled down by Miles Carter. Brown again. Stops, floater, in and out. Underneath. Blackshear.
Loubs playing with fire here. That's a couple good looks from Seattle on drives and transitions.
Johnson. Build back. Blackshear. A couple of players are slipping and sliding there in the paint. They're wiping it down now on the other end of the floor. Blackshear. Big right hand off the glass. Javon Blackshear Jr.
Yeah, big finish from the little guy. Going high up top, right into the teeth of the Seattle defense.
Jones eyed by Dixon. Back out Carter. DeCampo, Brown. Brown leaves for Nettles. Nettles. Quick ball movement back to Brown. Looks like they got Blackshear.
That's his 4th.
Ouch. Wow. Gonna have to be careful here. 12:30 to go. 4-point GCU lead.
He's been one of the highest minutes guys in the country because he's their primary point guard, and Isaiah Brown and Mikey Dixon both handle the playmaking when he's out, but they're not true point guards that create like Javon Blackshear Jr. We got 12:30 to go here. It'll be an interesting call by the staff. They're gonna look like they're gonna have to take him out now for a while.
Well, timeout on the floor there. I think both teams thought it was the media timeout.
Gave the Loubs a good chance to have a discussion about how to handle this stretch. We'll have Dixon and Brown on the floor together. Usually Dixon handles most of the playmaking, but either one can with Blackshear out.
Brown leaves it for DeCampo. Morgan Means. Back to Brown. Brown near side. Eyed by Brown. Yeah, he's just drawing fouls left and right.
Yeah, he's going to go right out of that. With Blackshear out of the game as their best defender for that matchup, he's going to go right out Isaiah Brown now and challenge him.
Going to get very interesting.
Well, much like their win in Kansas City, the Loubs have staved off every Seattle comeback. They let them get close, they keep them away. Seattle hasn't had a lead since the 7.5-minute mark of the first half, but they've been knocking on the door time and time again, tied it a couple times.
Brown misses the back end of that. 3-point GCU lead. Brown driving, leads it there for Jenkins off the glass with the left hand.
Well, good sign there for Isaiah Brown to do some playmaking. Yeah. Dribble drive creates for Jenkins, easy lay-in.
Good work. Brown, ooh, Carter back underneath. Oh, Jenkins got a hand on it.
They're going to call him for the body foul.
Oh, man.
He got a hand on the ball, but I mean, it's almost like a free ball. Two guys going to it.
Good grief.
Oh, that's an Isaiah Brown look away. He gives Laver a look, and everybody's worried about Laver, but then they find Jenkins to help the Loubs hold on to the lead here with 11:51 to go and a 5-point lead.
You have a foundation of strong values. You belong where your passions come to life. Grand Canyon University's online degree program in cybersecurity makes it convenient for you to join the newest front in keeping your community safe. GCU teaches you how to secure and protect a virtual environment. Join the growing
A big congratulations to the GCU dance team. Not only did they win the national championship for their game day performance, but they are now back-to-back champions, Division I game day winners at the UVA Nationals. Last year was their first time competing in that game day category. They obviously excelled because they went back out there last weekend and took home the honors once again. Congratulations to the back-to-back national champs.
Thunder's birthday on Saturday. Looks great, doesn't he? Turn in another year.
He just doesn't age.
Incredible.
It's amazing how many people come out there that they are creatures.
Quick three, DeCampo with a rebound. Kick back out. Means. Ooh, a hop there.
Loubs in danger of already getting on the bonus here. Next foul with 11.5 minutes to go.
Trouble on Grigsby.
If Hayford had hair, he'd be losing it with all these traveling calls.
Wow. Isaiah Brown brings it up. 11:30 to go. Second half. Brown takes it high off the glass. Oh, but he got the foul.
Yeah, real good looks here early from Isaiah Brown. I think they want to have Mikey Dixon off the ball because he's such a lethal shooter and scorer, even though he's having a rough night tonight. But Isaiah Brown has been able to drive 2 possessions in a row, dishing off for the easy Jenkins layup the first time. This time, almost getting the and one there.
Brown hits the front end. Radio flagship 1580 AM. There you see long-time radio personality, Bruce Jacobs. You can tune in to 1580 AM, 99.3, 95.9 every morning. Bruce on the air with Dale Hellestrad on the flagship station for GCU basketball. 1580 The Fanatic. I remember Bruce a few years ago on another station with one Mike Golick. He's done all right for himself.
They always chat with those guys in the morning on game day.
Yep. Ooh, a little floater there by Delonte Jones.
Rope killer, huh?
Yeah.
He just steps up every time he sees GCU.
Brown cuts back, top of the key. Back to Dixon. Dixon looks inside, can't find Laver. Carter's on him like glue. Up over the top. Oh, but he's fouled. Delonte Jones came over. One way to maybe get him out of this game. Picks up his 3rd personal foul.
Wasn't much doubt about whether that was a foul.
No.
He pretty much jumped on Laver's back on the help side. They're so determined to not let Laver get the ball inside.
Johnson finds Dixon. Back to Laver. Got a little room there. Isaiah Brown. Brown cuts back out. Ooh, a reach in there by Morgan Means.
Officials playing a little catch up on the foul count here. Got Seattle back up to 5 now. But Isaiah Brown, I think this is an important game to Isaiah Brown. He's a Seattle native. He wants to beat the hometown school.
Yep.
He's having his moment here at the point.
Dixon weaving. Doesn't go. Put back, Mikey Dixon.
Mikey Dixon just doesn't get rattled. He misses the shot, but he stays in control to go back up and put it back in.
Brown, floater, not going to happen. 12 offensive rebounds and 11 points off of those for the GCU Loubs.
What a well-rounded game in Carlos Johnson's game. Crashing the board, scoring, a little bit of everything.
Ooh, look who got his pocket picked. Isaiah Brown by means. Johnson tried to do it a little underhand and it drops.
That was an awkward fast break.
Yes, it was.
Slow break. Loubs can't pull away. Seattle can't come all the way back. It just kind of stays in this range.
5-point lead. Left wing bounce pass, Labor. Trying to move in on Miles Carter. Oh, a little hoppity hop. No, foul. Carter. Thought I saw a little skip there.
Labor
Saw
needs
a foul.
Seattle's really slow to double. Not nearly as aggressive as they were early in the game. So
I think Hayford wants a timeout. Or two.
Was that him or his water bottle on the court?
No, it's just, let's send it down to Kate Longwood.
All right, guys. Well, not only is the Loubs win streak on the line with this one, but they have a chance to make a jump once again here in the standings. They climbed a few spots with those wins at Chicago State and Kansas City over the weekend. Now sitting right in the middle of conference action with that 500 record. Cal Baptist, Cal State Bakersfield, the Loubs, of course, have seen them earlier this season. They fell to them there in that second and third spot. But as mentioned, Seattle University right above Grand Canyon. And as luck would have it, Utah Valley, who we'll see in action here on Saturday, they're right behind Grand Canyon with that 2-3 record. And it may look like I'm avoiding the obvious, but I'm not. But yes, that is New Mexico State at the top with that perfect 5-0 record. But the Loubs will have a chance to face off against them at the beginning of February, so we'll see if they can change that. But in the meantime, like you mentioned, Paul, really, this is when the second season starts, as Dan Marley says, and it's anyone's game when it comes to that conference action. Kind of everyone just filling it out this first month, and we'll see how things start to taper off in the next couple months, leading up to the madness that we all love in March.
March Madness, Orleans Arena, Las Vegas. 19-13 is the early score there. Utah Valley on top of Bakersfield in California.
Yeah, we know the Loubs could leapfrog Seattle tonight into fourth, but if they get some help from that game with Bakersfield losing, now you're in third place going into Saturday's game with Utah Valley. It changes quick in the WAC this year. If you don't like where you are, just wait around. It'll change in a hurry.
For every 3-point shot that GCU makes, Canyon State Credit Union will make a donation to the Students Inspiring Student Scholarship. For more information, go to giving.gcu.edu. I love it, the Havits, season ticket holders, even faculty getting into the theme of the Roaring 20s. Sweet looking tops. Are they flappers? Is that the dress?
I actually saw a mention of flappers by the Havits. They were trying to educate themselves on the 1920s.
Tremendous. Little learning experience. Bounce pass. Jenkins drives. And in, hoop and a harm to Campo is going to take a seat with his 5th personal foul.
Little doobie-doobie-doo there. The guy they call Doobie getting it done inside. He's a lefty. He loves that left block, and he just powers in. That's an overmatch right there. He comes away limping a little bit. This is the Jenkins they need. This would be huge for the Loubs because they rely so much on Alessandro Labor to be the primary interior scorer. But if there was somebody else like Lorenzo Jenkins to do the damage, he had 10 at Chicago State. And he's in double digits again tonight with 11.
So that's Carlos Johnson. Brown. Long 3. Off the mark, lands in the hands of Lorenzo Jenkins.
Loubs just crushing the Redhawks on the boards, 39-24. Remember when rebounding?
What a move. What a nice defensive stop by Grigsby.
Remember when rebounding was a concern about this team because we talked about how small they were coming in, and they're just outworking them. That's just a nice block to meet Johnson up at the pinnacle there.
Johnson a little ginger there with the ankle. Brown bounce back. Ooh, out goes. Carter got a hand on it. 5 on the shot clock. Loubs are going to have to move quickly.
Big chance for the Loubs here to extend the lead to double digits. Haven't been there all game.
Jenkins quickly. Dixon puts up the long 3. Oh, it's off the mark. But Isaiah Brown with the rebound. Oh, it didn't hit a hoop. Shot clock violation.
Yeah, tough break. They would have another chance there with Isaiah Brown's hustle, but it goes up as yet another Loubs turnover. That's 14 on the night.
Still plenty of time. 8-point Loubs lead. Oh, mercy. Mercy.
Now you got Blackshear, Laver, and Isaiah Brown with 4 fouls each. That's just not a place they want Laver playing defense in foul trouble, trying to guard a guy like Brown on the perimeter. He's got to show and get away.
That's got to play smarter.
.37 to go. That's a lot of time to manage with 3 players with 4 fouls. Isaiah Brown is the only one that's going to stay in the game with the 4, and that's because he's got to run the point with Blackshear sitting on the bench with 4.
6-point lead. Brown, top of the key. Oh, he slipped. Loose ball. Oh, Seattle.
Dan Marley trying to get Bryce Okpo just to calm down a little bit. He got the ball in the lane and zipped it out pretty hard. Too hot to handle. Turnover number 15 for a team that's been averaging under 12 on the season.
I wonder if the momentum is going to sway here. Brown kicked out. Morgan Means. Inside. Carter looking to move on Okpo, trying to thread the needle, a hoop and a harm. Yikes, Seattle storming back.
The fouls just racking up here. That's a tough matchup there, and Okpo gets beat, so Carlos Johnson has to come over. They got Okpo with the foul. That's his 3rd. Start looking at everybody's foul numbers now.
Yep. Eight minutes remaining here in the second half. The Loubs lead narrowed to 3. Johnson cuts in, back. Jenkins. Redhawks quickly on him. Carter underneath the hoop. Johnson trying to thread again. Travel. Yeeks.
A lot of contact there before the travel. Marley asking for a little something more of a whistle than a travel.
7:38 to go. 58-55 is Loubs lead. Foul trouble. Definitely keeping an eye on the Loubs and the foul trouble that a number of them are in, including the likes of Alessandro Laver. They've got to be careful.
Yeah, and you basically got your 2 point guards with 4 fouls too. It's going to be hard to game manage these last few minutes, but the Loubs have met every challenge by Seattle this game. They haven't led since there was 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. GCU just hasn't been able to stretch it out and put them away.
Javon Blackshear Jr., you've seen a little bit of everything from him, lots of effort.
Yeah, Javon Blackshear Jr. always great with the defensive hands to make things happen. They miss him when he's not in the game because he's their best creator with the ball, and he can drive and he can create for others. But Lorenzo Jenkins has been a huge boost off the bench. He gave him 10 points in Chicago last week, and he's doing it again today. He's got this skill level for a big man to be soft with the touch around the hoop and still use the power of his big body to finish.
7 and 7 for Blackshear Jr. Every Loubs player with at least 6 points here tonight.
Crazy how the little 5'11" Javon Blackshear Jr. gets in there for boards every game. He led them in rebounding in Kansas City with 10, and he's got another 7 tonight, despite having limited minutes. He's only played 22 minutes. He'd be easily on to another double-digit night if he could stay on the floor without the foul trouble.
Yep. Again, Saturday night, Utah Valley here. We hope to see you at GCU Arena. Great family-friendly entertainment here on the campus of GCU.
That was a great chance for the Loubs to stretch the lead out. We talked about how they had a double-digit lead all game, and they had it at 8.
Yep.
And they had 3 shots down there when Carlos got blocked on one. Mikey misses a 3, and Isaiah gets the rebound but doesn't realize the shot clock's about to expire. You know, 3 really good chances about stretching that lead to 10 and maybe taking the will out of Seattle a little bit on the road.
The Loubs with 3 turnovers in the last minute 52.
Such a uncharacteristic type of offensive night for the Loubs. You know, they've had their troubles at times making shots, and tonight's been another one of those with the 1 for 13 3-point shooting, but turnovers usually aren't an issue with them. They generally preach playing with poise and pace, and then sometimes that's gotten away from them tonight.
Brown on the floor with 4 personal fouls. DeCampo already out for Seattle. Terrell Brown, their leading scorer. Leaves it for Means, takes it back. Brown looking to move on Okpo, goes left. Floater up top and in. Boy, he makes things look easy.
Yeah, he's tough. Bryce Okpo did a good job defending him on the perimeter and making him pull out outside the paint, but he's got the whole arsenal. He's being much more efficient than he usually is tonight.
20 here tonight at 25 in a loss against New Mexico State. 1 point, GCU lead. Dixon. Rigsby all over Jenkins. 6 on the shot clock, gotta do something. Driving, Isaiah Brown, foul by Brown.
I'll put Brown on the line now that Seattle's in the bonus.
No, Morgan Means is going to be called. Second on Means.
Loubs just needed something to break that little funk right there when Seattle was on a 7-0 run.
Every free throw critical.
That's one thing the Loubs have done so well. They've been a good free throw shooting team all season across the board. In Kansas City, Mikey Dixon makes 6 straight down the line to ice it. They're made all of them this half.
7 of 7 this half. Approaching 6.5 to go. Brown with some heat. Open look for 3, short. Okpo able to hand it off to Isaiah Brown. Gingerly making his way up the court.
We mentioned it being fine for Grigsby to take those 3s even though he made 1. They got the ball out of Brown's hand. That's the key.
Yep. Dixon. Trying to move. Oh, he goes left-handed, doesn't drop, but he draws the foul.
A little MJ look there, going up with the right hand and switching to the left in the air.
Terrell Brown does get the foul. Mikey Dixon at the line. Ooh. That ice water in the veins at KC. Hits the backhand.
Loubs doing a good job of buying some time here while Labor and Blackshear sit on the bench with 4 fouls. Got it at the 6-minute mark with a 4-point lead.
Brown, they're putting some heat on him. Johnson almost got a hand on it. Way over. Off the wing for three, Delonte Jones.
We just looked at that one all day. Checked the time, lined up his feet, launched it off. These guys take tons of threes, and we talked about going in. They've taken 19 tonight.
Love in the Valley. Brown, Jenkins. Taking some time. Dixon, eyed by Means. Balls, nice crossover, stop, pop. Just didn't have enough legs. Carter leaves for Brown. 1 point Loubs lead.
That's a Dixon shot. That's a great shot for him that he makes. He just can't find the touch tonight. He's 3 of 14.
Brown fouled. Hoop and a harm.
Now for the first time since it was 26-24, the Redhawks are in the lead with 5:08 to go on that drive. The +1. It's a 12-3 run for the Redhawks after the Loubs had taken that 8-point lead just 4 minutes ago.
Rolling the dice now, Blackshear in the game. Brown remains on the court, Laver on the court, each with 4 personal fouls. Definitely the turning point. And the Redhawks up by 2.
Loubs had done such a good job on this Seattle whack-leading offensive team, but in this half, Seattle shooting 50%.
Brown. Jones on him. Back for Jenkins. Jenkins into Laver. Foul. Means.
That'll
third.
Put the Loubs in the double bonus, I believe.
Keep feeding Laver.
Seattle's looking to double on that entry from up top so much, but every time they do, they come so hard that they've been fouling him, jumping on his back, colliding into him as he turns. He's either going to finish or he's going to draw a foul once they can clear the pass over the front.
There you see it, Brown, Laver, Blackshear, Oakpo on the bench with 4. 3 Redhawks with 3 personal fouls on the floor.
It'd be shorter to say who isn't in foul trouble.
Exactly. 2 crucial buckets again, tied at 63. Jenkins, Johnson, Laver all with 11 points. Here we go. Brown drives, Laver.
Well, they're forcing him left. That's what they wanted to do. He's such a good right-hand driver, and Carlos Johnson made him go left, but he was able to go right up over Laver's help. Because Laver can't challenge that too hard. He'd pick up his 5th.
25 for Brown. Isaiah Brown has it. Bounce pass into Laver, goes out. It'll be GCU's ball. 16. Oh. We go out on the Loubs.
Just got a little cleanup duty down there.
Okay. Yep, Johnson to inbound. And they've had some difficulty with this. Back out, Jenkins. 14, 13 on the shot clock. Brown, got to be aware of it. 10 on the shot clock. 9. Looking to drive. Step back. 5, 4. Got to put it up. Got to put it up. Blackshear at the buzzer. Oh, it's out. Got to be aware. Carter with the rebound. Terrell Brown brings it up. Crosses midcourt. Under 4 to go. Redhawks up by 2. Brown to his left. Stops. Floater. Not there. Rebound. Pulled down by Brown.
Strong rebound by Isaiah Brown.
Yeah.
Terrell Brown was trying to grab it back from him. He held tight.
Blackshear moves left. Johnson beyond the arc. Looks inside to Laver. Laver off the glass. Hoop and a harm. They get Carter.
Yeah, they got Carter. The big Italian almost felt the double team coming. It's like he sees ghosts. He brought the ball away as the double team came without seeing it, and then finished with the left hand as Carter was on his back. Alessandro Laver giving a huge lift to retie this game.
Canyon State Credit Union, a local credit union serving the Valley for over 65 years, can assist you in buying your first home, refinancing your current home, or if you're dreaming of a retirement home. Canyon State Credit Union can provide you with a fast and affordable solution that meets your needs. Let Canyon State Credit Union run the numbers on your dream. Visit canyonstatecu.org or call 623-580-6015 for more information. Canyon State Credit Union, committed to you. We do business in accordance with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, MLS number 410376.
So one key component that makes the Waste Management Phoenix Open so successful is Cox Business. Over 700,000 people are going to come enjoy TPC Scottsdale, from digital TV to digital phones to security, and most importantly, that free Wi-Fi all over this property. We simply couldn't do it without a partner like Cox Business. We're grateful, we're thankful, it's a hole-in-one.
Just 3:30 to go in tonight's action, and right now Seattle U and GCU are locked in at 65 all. And on Saturday, the Loubs will continue to hopefully play the strong action with Utah Valley here in town. And then they hit the road, UTRGV, followed by New Mexico State on February 1st. And guys, as we've been mentioning, they have a lot of opportunity right now. If they get this W, extend that win streak to 3 straight games and leapfrog over Seattle U in the standings. And right now, Utah Valley in action, and they're just below the Loubs. So these next couple days, very exciting when it comes to WAC conference play.
Oh yeah, going to be nip and tuck all the way throughout the season. There is a young Loubs fan.
Yeah, Loubs are used to being in this situation. They have had to close out a lot of tight games. The difference in this half, I think, has been the three-point shooting. Seattle sort of found their range in this half. They've hit 4 of 8. Delonte Jones being the unexpected offensive threat that's made 4 in this game, and the Loubs haven't hit a 3 this half, but their bread and butter is to get the ball down to Ollie Laver when they can, and they found better ways to do this from the high post to avoid the doubles in this half.
3-point play for Alessandro Laver. The Loubs back up by 1. Plus 17 in the rebounding are the Loubs over the Redhawks. Under 3.5 to go. Buckle up. Brown. Near side, Means all the way over to Grigsby. Back out, Brown. 10 on the shot clock. Directing traffic. Moves left, trying to move around Laver. Does so. Floater too much. Carter with the rebound.
You get Javon Blackshear Jr. down there trying to tangle with the big man Carter, and that'll be it for him.
Tall task.
Yeah, that's not a position Blackshear wants to be in with 4 fouls. He's on the back of a bigger man. Boy, he barely grazed him trying to get around the side of him. That's rough. He's not in his back. He had the left hand on the left hip, so it sort of looks like it's a little bit of a imagery that fools the ref there when you put the left hand on the hip as you go around the opposite side. It looks like you're twisting him.
I wonder too if they'd opened up a little bit of a cushion, if they could have, gone to the bench a little bit,
Yeah, he felt like he had to. Yeah,
just put some minutes out there.
Right, he had to go to Laver and Blackshear when Seattle made that run and took the lead for the first time in the half. And now you got to play the rest of the game without your starting point guard. 3 minutes to go. Isaiah Brown's done a nice job today when Blackshear hasn't been in.
Well, somebody's got to step up. Tied at 66. Carter with 8.
It's really, in addition to the turnovers, it's been uncharacteristic for the Loubs to be in foul trouble this season. They've done a good job of being one of the teams in the nation that foul the least.
Carter unable to put the Redhawks in the lead. Under 3 to go. Quickly, Johnson, twisted, darting, off the glass and in. Carlos Johnson, rocket.
Woo. Put him in the spin cycle and dropped him on the floor.
2-point GCU lead. Brown, stop, a little slip there. Put it in. Was there a whistle? Officials going over to the scorer's table.
Called a warning on Seattle. Perhaps, now Hayford's on the floor again.
Oh, Hayford. Doesn't have a water bottle. Doesn't want to test the officials' patience. 2.5 to go. Brown leaves for Johnson. Careful. Over to Labor. Labor driving baseline. Carter's on him. Moves right. Bucket!
He's so confident with that move. He's got his toolbox, and he just decides which one he's going to pull out once he gets single coverage on the post.
Driving Brown is not going to stop. He rings out. Johnson with a big rebound. Take your time. Take your time. Approaching 2 minutes to go. Hayford clapping, trying to rally his troops, and Marley wants a timeout.
Exhale, Barry. This is fun.
Crucial buckets, huh, Paul?
Yeah, Ali Labor's so clutch. I mean, you want your big players to play big in moments like this. First, it was Carlos Johnson, preseason all-WAC player, and here's the other preseason all-WAC player, Ali Labor with the post hook. That's unguardable when he gets you down on the post, puts you on his left shoulder, and delivers it up high. He's got 16 points on 5 of 8 shooting. He's made all 5 of his free throws and added 6 boards. That's just a regular game for Alessandro Labor. That's what he does night in and night out.
Here we go. Blackshear fouled out. DeCampo fouled out for the Red Hawks. Brown's on the floor with 4. Labor's on the floor with 4.
Key possession for the Loubs here. Under 2 minutes, if you can stretch this to a 2-possession game, you really put a lot of pressure on the road team.
Jenkins driving. Up over the top to Johnson. Johnson cuts into the paint. Left hand off the glass. Not there. Rebound underneath. Out. Who's ball? Whoa.
Yeah,
they switched it off.
It looked like it went off Means. He switched it, called twice. A lot of hands in there, but then it comes off, and one more hand touch. It might have been Isaiah Brown's hand, unfortunately, for the Loubs.
They're going to look at it.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be off Brown. Just getting inside Means and reaching out to cover. Whew. Good crash by the Loubs in general.
Left
but
hand there, you see it.
Bad break for the Loubs. Great drive by Carlos Johnson to get into the teeth of the defense. A lot of times he'll draw a foul in a situation like that, but Seattle avoids putting him on the line, and he couldn't finish. Jenkins mixing it up in there, really trying to get that. And from there, it's just pinball.
We'd love to see Mikey Dixon drain a couple of threes. He's joined Labor and Johnson, one of 28 teams with a trio of players averaging over 13 points per game while shooting 40%.
Well, with this going back to Seattle, probably you got to focus on Terrell Brown here and try to get the ball out of his hands. Yeah, I mean, he's taken 24 shots this game. There's no doubt where they want to go with this. And if the Loubs can get it out of his hands, their chances are better. He's usually not as efficient as he's been tonight. Now the call on the floor gave it to the Loubs, right, when they corrected it. So they're going to have something that's conclusive here. And if they think there's any question, they can't overrule it.
They keep looking at it. Sure looks like that left hand on the freeze frame there.
It's given Hayford a lot of time here to drop an offensive play for them to probably get Terrell Brown free. He's 11 of 24 from the field tonight.
Havoc's trying to rally the team here. Help from Paul Cook and the Thundering Herd Band and cheer, dance.
Loubs could start looking to go offense-defense here a little bit too to make sure Labor doesn't pick up a 5th foul in a defensive situation. You could put Bryce Oak, Kovalk on the floor with Jenkins as the big man.
Be interesting to see what Marley does.
Looks like Oakpo's sitting on the end of the bench probably for that reason, to be able to make a quick sub. Dan Marley pacing the sidelines, hoping it's their ball though.
It's taken quite a while. Well, I don't think it was that difficult. An issue with the monitor to view the replay.
There's still a lot of conversation going on down there about different looks. I mean, I hate to tell Loubs fans, but that ball looked like it was off Isaiah Brown. Dan Marley the first to help the officials out, though.
He was?
Pointing the Loubs way, like, hey,
sure.
If you have any questions, Dan Marley's suggestion would be to give it to the Loubs.
1:44 left to go on the clock.
They're bringing in the third guy now to look at it.
A lot of time for the respective coaches here. Replay was not functioning at first, a little technical difficulty. We're gonna have to make a call here. 3 officials gathering up.
Well, Seattle celebrating like they won the game. I mean, it was. I know it's pretty exciting to get a possession call, but you're still down 2.
Well, that was the right call.
So Labor does come
You're
out.
right,
They
good
put
call.
Bryce Oakpo in to protect Labor from getting that 5th foul, but Isaiah Brown's still out there with his 4 fouls.
Here come the Redhawks, down by 2. Means cuts back, leaves for Terrell Brown. Who else? Brown hands it off. Jones looking to turn the corner, goes left hand, doesn't go. Rebound. Oh! Oakpo. 5 for Oakpo. Oakpo's going to join Blackshear. The 2 freshmen are DQ'd. Labor's going to have to check back in here, which is fine.
Oakpo just got a little bit. Well, it sure looked like Isaiah Brown inside the arm of Carter. Either way, they had a guy sit. Yeah, I think.
Ooh! Decibel level going up. The Havocs trying to help.
Carter, a 72% free throw shooter, but he didn't look like it there.
There he hits it. 3 of 5 tonight for Carter at the line. So 1 point Loubs lead, 123 and counting. Down to Jenkins, to Dixon near side. Eyed by Jones. Back out, Labor beyond the arc. Looked inside. Johnson is covered heavily. Ooh, look out. Dixon, 10 on the shot clock. Dixon, back to Labor. Bounce pass into Johnson. Johnson looking to move on Brown. Off the glass and in! Big bucket, baby!
That's just power. Flex the muscles, Carlos Johnson.
Brown trying to flex it and it's slotted away! Carlos Johnson said it, not in my house!
Yeah, he sent that one out to Camelback Road. He swatted so hard. Look at the power on this end just to move through. That's why he's so good when he gets inside. He spins, feels the contact, switches to the other hand, and then he hustles down to the other end and trails Labor, who he knows he can't defend tightly, and blocks the shot.
He is dialed in, Carlos Johnson. Looking to will the Loubs onto their 3rd straight victory. 51.6 seconds remain. 3-point GCU lead. Man, you gotta love GCU basketball. If you haven't been here, come check it out Saturday night. Mark Madsen, the former LA Laker, brings in the Utah Valley Wolverines. Here we go. Brown inbound. The Means. Oh, they're playing it tight. Taking some precious seconds. Brown looking to move. Goes right. He's got Jones, who's been lethal as well. Brown on him, goes left with his right, doesn't drop! Good D there by Isaiah Brown, trying to bring it up the court, and he's fouled.
Good D is right. Isaiah Brown out there with 4 fouls, guarding in isolation on a drive, and makes him take a tough right-handed shot from the left side. Look at him, just hands up, sliding along with him, tough shot, and then there's Ali Laver to clean it up. Now Brown gets a chance to give the Loubs some cushion here.
Critical.
Isaiah Brown like to say hello to everybody back in Seattle watching in his hometown, doing the hometown Redhawks wrong.
Everybody near the Linwood, Washington area. His family relocating from Alaska. He's playing AAU basketball. Continue to pursue his dream. 8 of 8 from the line. Isaiah Brown. Here we go. Big bucket there by Terrell Brown.
Wow, the key there for the Redhawks is they wasted no time getting it up. Only took them about 5 seconds to cash in on that, and it's back to a 2-point game. If it looked like a 3, unless they're gonna, I think they're gonna take a look. I thought it was pretty clear. He looked pretty far out beyond the line. But a break for the Loubs here. They get to talk about an inbound play. They've had some troubles with that.
Ooh,
or maybe not.
Looky on the line.
Took a big jump stop. But it's got to be irrefutable for them to they call it what they call it on the floor. They call it a 3 on the floor. So they got to have a clear look that he's on the line to change it.
Yeah, we saw it, I think, on one of those replays. Sure looked like his foot.
He didn't even look like he was sure. He's like, 3? Can I get a 3 on that?
Yeah, why not, right?
What a big-time game from Terrell Brown today. He's played every minute of this game. That's a clear look, I'd say.
That's a clear look. 2, said the official. 2. Oh, but they're not going to go away quietly. Look at this. I'm sure there'll be a big press here. Looking to turn it over, though.
Full court pressure for the Redhawks. This has been a problem for the Loubs sometimes.
Jenkins. Quickly, Dixon. Dixon looking to move. Foul.
This is exactly how they finished off the Kansas City game. Kansas City pressed them 3 times at the end, and every time Lorenzo Jenkins inbounded to Mikey Dixon, and every time he stepped up and canned the free throws.
Well, Dixon goes to the line.
Still got a chance to make it a 2-possession game here.
Dixon. Gets the back end. 4-point lead. Don't foul a 3. In the corner, putting it on the floor, Nettles driving, foul. Oh, Isaiah Brown, he's going to take a seat. Oh my goodness, Ray Curtis is going to come into the game.
And again, it takes almost no time off the clock. This is playing right in Seattle's hand. Quick scores, and then they're going to force them to inbound it again and be able to apply their pressure.
5 Loubs in double digits tonight. Every Loub with at least 6 points and 4 rebounds. Coach Hayford.
Third Loubs player to foul out tonight.
Crazy.
Which makes it all the more important to close this one out in regulation for the Loubs.
Dixon and Laver. Carlos Johnson. So we'll see if the Redhawks have ice water in their veins.
Nettles a pretty good free throw shooter, 78% for the season, but doesn't get a lot of opportunities. He's a bench player.
29 for 37. Made that look easy.
See if the Loubs run that inbound again where they get Jenkins to inbounded to Dixon as he darts back to the ball.
Curtis got some playing time on the road trip. Quality minutes. So, lead is 2. Nettles takes a seat.
Yeah, Dan Marley wanted to reward Rafe Curtis. He'd been practicing well, working hard, and he got rotation time the last 2 games.
Jenkins inbounds to Dixon. Back to the free throw line.
Looked like the Loubs caught him off guard a little bit there. Seattle didn't really have its press set up very well. It was an easy inbound for Mikey to come back to the ball and get it.
Longest 18.1 seconds. For GCU fans, the Loubs have made a season high 22 free throws.
Yes. This is not how the Kansas City game ended. Mikey Dixon adding some dramatics here. Critical one here.
I can't take these types of games, you know. Three-point GCU lead. Again in the corner, Nettles for 3. Off the mark, rebound, Lorenzo Jenkins, he's fouled.
Big rebound by Lorenzo Jenkins. It's his 5th board on the night. It's a season high for the Loubs. They've grabbed 47 rebounds to just 11 for Seattle.
Marley, it's labor. Timeout on the floor. Now in Hayford and Marley to chat. Oh, he is intense. Yikes.
You know, for as many turnover problems as GCU had in this game, they haven't made a turnover for about the last 6.5 minutes of this game.
Knock on wood. Lorenzo Jenkins. Loubs need somebody at the line that drains them both. Here we go. Loubs up by 4. Labor, Dixon, back off.
Definitely a no foul zone here on defense.
Yep.
Just make them use some time.
Oh, that's money right there. 5-point lead, don't foul. Brown drives, they give him a wide open lane. Quickly in, they did it to Carlos Johnson.
Fitting that Carlos Johnson go to the line. He's had such a huge night with an all-around game for the Loubs. Gives them a chance to ice this game and move up another rung in the WAC standings with their 3rd consecutive win.
Oh, they needed it. Between Lorenzo Jenkins and Carlos Johnson. Back to back. Let him go. Off the glass, .2 on the clock. That's it, Loubs win! Loubs win! They win their 3rd straight game, improving to 3-2 in the conference.
You can see the confidence in this team surging. They just staved off Seattle at every comeback this game. 2 straight games they've been tested. Their grit has been tested. They had 3 guys foul out tonight. And that early work that they did paid off, because when they lead at a half, they're 6-0 this season. And now, what's more important is they're starting to win in this arena again. And that's where it's been the difference in WAC play. And it's not going to take much to climb back up in these standings. They're 4th place now with a chance of even being 3rd before the night's over.
Kay Longworth is on the floor with head coach Dan Marley.
Well, I don't know, guys. I know you're excited. You saw some great play. I saw that, but Dan Marley walked over to me shaking his head. So first, just your initial thoughts. You guys just got your 3rd straight victory.
It's a great win, but we're not a very smart bunch. They're going to kill me. I think they may want to kill me, and that's fine. But it was a great win. We kept battling. We found a way to do it. Every game in the WAC's hard. That's a really good Seattle team. They played well, so really happy with the win.
5 players double digits when it came to scoring, and your two leaders you've been asking all season long for them to step up. Carlos Johnson, Hallie Laver going out there tonight, giving it their all. How key is it to see that type of role from them to lead to these victories?
Well, that's the only way we're going to be good is those two guys. And Mikey had an off night, but that's fine. We've got to have other guys step up. But, you know, those three guys are going to have to be good, and then we have to be really good defensively, which I thought for the most part we were most of the night.
And, I mean, you look good in the polo, but I did notice you had a wardrobe change.
I sweated through my other shirt. I couldn't do it anymore.
Right. I think he needs another wardrobe change, guys, but at least he's going in with the victory. GCU with its third straight win. 80-77, the final here over Seattle U. We'll be wrapping this one up and recapping all the excitement here at GCU Arena when we come back here on Fox 10 Extra right after this.
Across the green desert to where the mountains touch the sky. This is Sanderson Ford country, where Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford country, built on serving you. Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford.
This Waste Management Phoenix Open will finally be his.
Is 77 over the Seattle Redhawks. Whew. Take a deep breath. Barry Butel alongside Paul Coral as the Loubs get back in the win column. Yeah, it was, boy, did they have, they hit some crucial free throws with Lorenzo, Jenkins, and Carlos Johnson down the stretch.
And some big stops. You know, the defense got a little away from them for a while, but they held the highest scoring team in the WAC to 40% shooting in the end. And there were times where Terrell Brown really got it cooking. He's the leading scorer in the WAC for a reason, but they never let anybody else hurt him like Seattle did with GCU, having 5 scorers in double digits.
Yeah. The Canyon State Credit Union player of the game, Canyon State Credit Union committed to you, Carlos Johnson. What a night.
Yeah, Carlos Johnson did a little bit of everything, including 2 huge plays down the stretch with the post score and the swat on the other end that was pivotal down the stretch. He had 17 points, did a lot of his damage in the lane on drives and post-ups, blocked a couple shots, and helped the GCU Loubs dominate the boards by a huge margin. It was a big, big win on the boards for the Loubs, and that helped overcome the turnover issues. But Loubs, when he's going aggressively to the rim like this, he's difficult to defend because he's got so much power on top of the speed, and he's got such a firm grip on the ball around the basket to be able to finish despite contact. That block was one of the biggest plays of the game, though.
Huge block near the end on the defensive glass, but so many other guys contributed. Guys were in foul trouble. Lorenzo Jenkins with 13 points in the game, and again, 2 crucial free throws near the end.
Yeah, and we talked about the bench needing to step up for the Loubs, and Isaiah Brown did a little bit tonight. Lorenzo Jenkins, especially with so many people fouling out, to have Lorenzo Jenkins step up with 13 and 6. Shortly after having a 10-point game last week at Chicago State, we're starting to see the Dan Marley theory about graduate transfers catching on late, and he's been so good in conference play now. If that continues for the Loubs, there's yet another offensive weapon, because we already talked about Mikey Dixon being that third big scorer for the Loubs, where you don't have to have everybody on at once. Well, Dixon was off tonight, but that was okay because Laver was big offensively, Carlos Johnson was big offensively. You have options now.
Let's revisit our Sanderson Ford 3 keys. The best play in a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford.
The first one, they wanted to keep Seattle out of the paint. Brown got in there an awful lot. He did a lot of damage in there with he played every minute of this game and scored 31 points. So they did a good job on the other guys, but Brown got in there an awful lot. And that's why he was able to score 31. But keep it simple offensively. I think GCU found ways to get in the paint with Carlos Johnson driving, Laver on the post, a lot of offensive crashing, even some transition scores, second chance points. That was probably where they won the game there.
Alessandro Laver got into foul trouble throughout, 16 points in the game.
Laver just has such a refined confidence around the rim right now. You see assertiveness when he gets the ball, whether it's on the three-point line or in the post. He makes quick decisions to strike. He almost feels when the double teams are coming. Even when he can't see it like there, he pulls the ball away before the guy's even there, able to get the and one, playing through contact. He's just a tougher guy around the rim now, and that's a lot through Dan Marley's coaching and the staff, helping him to play through the frustrations of foul calls, physical play. He's just a different guy now as a junior than what we saw as a freshman and sophomore.
No doubt about it. Yeah, everybody contributed. Even Mikey Dixon, as Coach Marley told Kate at the end of the game, didn't really put up big numbers, but he was critical in this game as well.
Yeah, Mikey Dixon was 3 of 14 from the field tonight. I don't think we'll say that very often.
No.
He's too good of a shooter. When he does get loose, he can it, but just having another guy out there with activity, he's somebody that Seattle has to account for. They know he's a shooter, so even when he's not hitting, he sucks out the defense and helps set up other players like Laver.
Let's send it downstairs. Post-game press conference, head coach Dan Marley.
All right, well, I'm really proud of our guys. It's a heck of a win. Seattle team's really good. They're playing well. Just proud of them. Came back, again, battled some adversity. We talked about our defense. Held them to 40%, 34 in the first half. Great job. We're going to hang our hat on defense. We really concentrate on that to win the rebounding battle against a good rebounding team. 47-31 was huge. Despite going 1 for 14 from 3, we scored 80 points. So just proud of my guys. They grinded it out and found a way to win. Made some big plays down the stretch. So couldn't be happier with them. It was a great win for us. Well, like I said, Richard, we've been trying to find identity. And I told our identity right now we're the best defense team in the WAC, and that's what our identity is. And they have to grasp that and become happy with that and embrace it and wear that as a sense of pride. And I think they did that tonight. Offense hopefully will come, and I think it will. But we got to keep playing defense and really hang our hat on being an aggressive defensive team that can stop people. And I thought we did a good job of that. And that's where a lot of toughness comes in. If you can play defense for 40 minutes and get stops, you're a pretty tough team. Yeah, a lot. I just felt like changing. I was too hot. So I wore the polos on the road trip and they won. So I was done sweating through that shirt, man. I was too hot in here. I think our locker room, our AC was broke, so I came out sweating. So that's enough. I may go polos the rest of the way. Can't do it. I know I got to lose some weight, but that's ridiculous.
What about Carlos now? They're just counting the way they play.
That's what you got to have out of a senior and a junior, who are your two best players. They got to play big, and they did. Ali struggled through some stretches and had some foul trouble, but played well. Carlos down the stretch was big, and that's what you need out of your two best players. Mikey obviously had an off game. That's fine. He's allowed. He's still going to be a big part of our offense. He's got to score better, but he had a bad game. We had other guys step up. I thought Bryce did a good job. I thought Doobie was effective. Isaiah, when he's in there, Javon had foul trouble. But Carlos and Alessandro, they're going to have to take the brunt of the offensive stuff.
After a big road trip, 1-2 games at Chicago State and KC, how important was it for the team to start off strong like they did early, to continue that momentum?
Yeah, you can't think about doing special things here in the WAC and lose at home. We've already lost a home game. You have to go out and steal wins on the road, which is extremely hard. And we have to come home and take care of home court. And we haven't done that this year. And I told the guys, I don't know, it's because if they're comfortable. I think on the road they feel a sense of togetherness and, they're in the same hotel and it's us against them and that kind of mentality. We're meeting all day. We're in meeting rooms, eating lunch together, all that stuff. So they just can't come here and be comfortable because we have the greatest crowd. That's not going to push you through. You got to come out here with an urgency to take care of business, and I thought we did that. They understand that we can't lose home games. And it doesn't matter who you're playing or whatever. It's going to be a fight no matter where you play, home or away. It's going to be a rock fight, and that's how it's going to be all year long. So very proud of our guys. They put together a 3-stretch. First time this year, I think we've won 3 in a row. So happy for our guys.
Shooting still a little bit of an issue. What can you do to
Just keep working. We've been shooting the ball well from 3. Today was bad. We just got to play downhill. I thought at the beginning of the game we moved the ball well, and then we got a lead, and then that selfishness of, oh, this is going to be a good one. Let's take 1 or 2 dribbles and jack shots. So we have proven that we're not a good shooting team if it's a one-on-one dribble. Now, the only guy that really does that well sometimes is Carlos, and the other guy is Mikey. Mikey obviously had an off night tonight. So we're a lot better when we move the basketball, when we throw it inside, we drive and we kick. In that first half, we were driving and we were finding guys, and all of a sudden we drove and we started trying to score over 3 or 4 guys instead of kicking. So we got to stay away from that selfishness and keep playing for others, and that's how we're successful. So we just keep working on shooting. I don't know what else there to do.
Well, that'll do it from here at GCU Arena, where the Loubs are victorious over the Seattle Redhawks, 80-77. Please join us again Saturday night, 5:30. Kate will have the pregame show as the Loubs host Utah Valley, looking to win their 4th straight. Until then, though, for Kate Longworth, Paul Coro, I'm Barry Butel. Alongside our entire crew, we wish you a wonderful, wonderful evening.